Are you ready, kids?
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome to this unusual Friday night.
Amazing dichotomy, T-Jude. I can still hear myself. It's weird. I'm still not using the right headphones. Sad. Hello.
I cannot wait for those to be fixed because I have you on 40 right now, so I can hear you. And I'm not sure if that's a you thing or a
Volume-wise.
me thing.
Well, that's definitely
Yeah,
a
volume-wise.
mic thing usually, but that your settings might have changed because of switching computers. So you might have to
That
raise me
is
on
true.
Discord, not just the computer sounds. Who knows? Lots of
That
things.
is true.
But yes, we did it, Dichotomy. Normally we don't have problems. It's just what had happened was we had a weird thing on Tuesday, and then it sort of just carried through because in trying to fix it, I of course messed with a bunch of stuff. So it was slowly realizing what I messed with to unmess with it. Yeah. And then we'll see if any sound. I have my window closed specifically because the fair is in town and it's loud. And it's right outside my house.
It is in full swing, and it will be for the whole weekend. Exactly. Happy fall.
Happy fall. I plan to go tomorrow.
I was debating going tomorrow. I don't know what to do there.
Well, I don't go for I go in the early time for the craft stands and everything.
Oh, those are fun.
And then at night I'm gonna get dinner because they do food trucks now. The past couple of years they've been doing food trucks and not just
and they've been really good.
Yeah, so gotta
top tier stuff.
So that's what I like to go for. Getting dinner. I have not ridden a ride in a very long time. If we're being completely honest, when I go to fairs, it's for food.
I mean, they didn't have the cliffhanger this year, so that was already a no-go for me. They instead brought back the frickin' paratrooper, which is a downgraded version of the cliffhanger.
The Wish version of the cliffhanger.
It really is. It's inferior in every conceivable way.
And then my day has been much more eventful than I would have thought it would be for me being home alone. The amount of...
Do you have to fight off burglars?
And no. But the amount of insects and arachnids that have decided to come into my home while everybody else is away is way too many. We're talking wasps that are 2 inches long. We're talking rather large spiders. We're talking,
jeez.
It's just why did everything have to come in to the house at one time? I'm not doing anything different.
This is not fair.
And my dog threw up.
Oh no.
Yeah, she's just an anxious little baby, and I need to sleep until 9 if I'm gonna go to bed at 2 a.m. So it's I wake up to let her out so she doesn't pee or poop anywhere. And then she threw up in the time I went back to sleep from 6 a.m. until 9. And it was come on, dog, please.
So it's here's a present for you.
Yeah, it's why'd you
Hope
have
you
to
like
do
it.
this? I let you out. I specifically did stuff to prevent this.
I did everything right.
The rest of the day. Yeah, dogger moment indeed. Yeah, I think it was literally just really anxious dichotomy. She's very old, and so she's very anxious. And so I think it was just the fact that nobody was up and doing stuff where, essentially majority of my family who lives in the house would have been up for hours before I get up. Because they all get at 7:30, and it's just why do you get up for not work at 7:30? Why do you get up so early? It's for the dog, but I go back to sleep. She wakes. I specifically sleep with her when they're away, because then she wakes me up, so I let her out, because otherwise I wouldn't wake up. She would just whine and, have an accident, and we don't want that.
Aww.
But then she still threw up, so I'm very annoyed. I was just why? I did everything right. But yeah, it's
the
very
struggle.
eventful. And then, oh my god, I was just very not productive today. As a human,
honestly, same here. I got up late because I hate this. I have 2 fans in my room because my house does not have central air. So whenever it's summer, whenever there's a heat wave like the one we've been having, I just have all the fans in my room. The problem is they make my room really freaking cold during the night because I'm also getting air from the open window because the temperature does drop.
That's the vibe.
So in the middle of the night, like we're talking anytime between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., I wake up, get the comforter that I discarded, and throw it on my bed and then go back to sleep. But then when I wake up at 9, that heat is back with a vengeance and I am dying. And it is horrible. And I really don't like waking up like this. Like, end me. Can it be fall already? I just want to sleep with my comforter again, please.
You guys have to keep a secret. That's the secret dichotomy. You have to keep it now. And I'm sure T-Dude, she doesn't throw up very often. She doesn't throw. This is an anomaly. That's what makes it more annoying, if I'm being honest. That it's kind of you never throw up. Why did you do this? Like, I didn't feed you, you know? Like, why? Why did we do this?
I think she's just wondering where everyone went.
Yeah.
It's like, where is everybody?
But, all right. I think I'm ready to get into this. And
yes.
I think we're going.
You gotta be creative on stream, Mori.
I know. It's a lot of work. And I'm making it kind of harder on myself in the sense of that we don't have any bases to start with. But I am going to use the mirror tool and draw them like face on, front, just straight on, because 1, 15 minutes is not a lot of time, and 2, I think that what we'll do is we'll do a few, and then at like 11 maybe, so we'll do like 2 hours of drawing them, and then at like 11 we'll pick one that we get sort of like a character sheet vibe of, right? So you get the full body and like the half body and then like some
kind of expand on it a bit.
Yeah. Color.
I like it.
So this part is mostly just for design. The 15 minutes are for like Gijinka design, right? For those who don't know what that is.
I was about to say, I think we need to initiate people.
Yes. So what a Gijinka is, it's very, you probably see them a lot with like Pokemon. It's essentially making something that is not a human into a human, usually animal characters, right? Again, Pokemon is a big one. There's an artist that has like made it their goal to make a Gijinka of every Pokemon. So, it's very common there. But you see it like Sonic characters as humans. Those are Gijinkas, all this sort of stuff.
That's a big one.
Yeah, those are really big ones. However, I am going to do it in my own special Ori way, which is more like Cawlers. So they're like human plus, because that's boring. So I will say that if you have a monster that is very human... Hello, Enthuse. Welcome. Yes, Friday stream.
Hi,
Start to the
Enthuse.
Weekend. A nice pop off into the weekend.
Indeed.
That if you have a monster that is very human, that's probably just, it's going to be kind of boring of a change. You know what I'm saying? If you give me like Chain Devil, it's really just a dude at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? So that's just sort of something to be wary of. I think the much more monstrous ones are probably the way to go. So, Dichotomy wants to start off. Mars, you have to pick a number. 1 is the one that would be a challenge, 2 lends itself well to Gijinka, or 3 is one that his mom picked at random. So that's very interesting. You have lots of...
I want to go 3 now.
All right, Dichotomy. She has spoken. Mars has spoken. I got to use that in a video. I have spoken. I think that's the one that comes out on Tuesday. I'm not 100% sure, but we might be hitting 100 videos on the Just Ace Attorney.
I checked the other day. We are incredibly close.
Ooh, Andrew Sphinx. One of my favorites.
Ooh. Good pick, Enthuse's mom.
Dichotomy's mom.
Oh, Dichotomy's mom. Sorry.
Don't mix
I'm sorry, Dichotomy. I gotta make sure I'm giving the right mom the right credit. Okay. We got some references here. This one is the one that is a male, a dude, versus Gynosphinx is the female one. We love wings. However, that is gonna have some time, I will say. I'm actually gonna make this canvas larger. Wings are a labor of love.
Yes.
I say as I'm currently coloring in Aster's wings.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and then Mars, and then I get to line every little feather with all the lines of the feathers. It's a lot.
Ay.
Be happy he's not patterned, okay? I don't know what I'm gonna do for our patterned one. That's gonna be a wild one.
The patterned one is going to be very interesting, I must say.
Dichotomy's mom has been getting into it and doing, like, stories and homebrews and stuff, if I remember. Something about goblins. I barely remember.
Dichotomy, your mom is awesome.
Dichotomy, wings are a love-hate relationship, you know? They're a love-hate relationship. I love them, but they suck, and it's terrible.
I basically have no brain power tonight, so I've decided I am just doing flat colors, and I will do the details some other day.
Leprechauns, that what it was. I kind of mean leprechauns. Alright.
I made the mistake of taking a nap earlier today in the heat, and I was like, oh, this was such a bad idea. Why did I do this? But I couldn't keep my eyes open.
This is the main one, it looks like. Technically, there's another one from Forgotten Realms, but I don't particularly like how it looks, so we'll just use this one.
You know,
that's how
you are the artist?
Yeah.
You are the artist
I'm the
in charge.
artist,
you
and
pick.
This is how we go. In this case, Enthuse, it'll probably have 6 appendages, because the Sphinx itself has 6 appendages. You know what I'm saying? Birds only have 4 appendages, thus Aster only has 4 appendages, but Sphinx have 6. I do know that dichotomy. Sometimes I just look at the other versions to see if there's anything cool catching my eye. But
or he needs just the right inspiration.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it's a task, that's for certain. And here we go. I make literally 0 guarantees about how well these are gonna come out. I just gotta tell you, because it takes a lot of brain power, and I specifically was like, I'm not gonna prep super hard.
You and me both enthuse.
You know what I should be doing? I should be having the chat in the right spot, which is not where it was.
That would be very handy, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. There you go. That's the ticket. That's the way to do it.
Oh, premature. Yeah, it's a. It always has a little start to it. Okay, he has a little.
It's like the wind up before the pitch.
Pharaoh beard thing.
Is that how that works?
Maybe. It has to like reset itself, so that's the whole thing. We'll make him. He's pretty beefy looking at him, so we'll make him fairly beefy. Okay, too much beef. Hold on. We can bring the chest back a little bit here.
I mean, hey, we could get some great barbecue wings out of that.
Ah, yes.
If he's beefy, put some meat on those bones.
Will he at least be Gijinka-ish? Yeah. Can't be too beefy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, please.
Works out. Oh, so yep. Ori, I kind of off topic, but just kind of keeping conversation going.
No, please. There's not really a topic, if we're being honest. So.
I was watching a video on YouTube today. It was like a 4-hour-long video essay about the show Stoked that used to air on Cartoon Network. Mm-hmm. And the reason I bring this up is because the guy who did the video pointed out that they used the word himbo in the show. And he's like, this is 2013. I think this is the first usage of himbo ever. And it was being used to describe a character that I personally don't feel is a himbo. But then this guy goes on to say, when did himbo become defined as having a heart of gold? Like, aren't himbos just dumb? Like, aren't they supposed to be the male version of a bimbo? And I'm like, no. Himbos have hearts of gold. That is the whole point of being a himbo.
When did this come out? When did the show come out?
It was like 2010 to 2013 it aired.
Okay. And when did Emperor's New Groove come out?
Oh, God, I think it was 1999, 1998.
90? I thought it was early 2000s, not 90.
Let me check that. Emperor's New Groove. Oh, it came out in 2000.
Yeah, okay. I was like 19. Oh God, that was a really old moment there. Yeah, to me, Kronk is the original himbo.
Oh, absolutely.
But I can very much understand. Definitely, himbo does, etymologically originate from bimbo, which don't have hearts of gold. Honestly, they're pretty vapid and shallow if you're talking about bimbos. So, I'm making his arms too long.
Nah.
And, what was I talking about? So, I feel like we have morphed himbo because we like the himbo. And honestly, I don't
definitely like the stupid characters, but it's even better if the reason they're being stupid is because they have pure intentions.
Well, I think an interesting dichotomy is I can't think of a character that would be the female version of a himbo that has the heart of gold and is dumb. I feel like that's a lack in societal content, right? We don't have many of those. We have a fair amount of himbos, but we definitely don't have a lot of female, because you can't not bimbos. I'm talking heart of gold and dumb female characters, right? And I feel like that's a problem with the whole thing, is that because a large majority of, characters are male to a certain extent, it's hard to have, Beefcake, or I would consider Gaston's like a jock, he's the sporting
way more
guy,
jock.
Trying to be Chad. Yeah, hunk and jock. See, we have so many more words.
Our language has evolved since then.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting.
So many more.
It's definitely interesting because 100% it came from, bimbo, right? Himbo is the he bimbo, but it's definitely like Kronk is poster child of what we would actually consider a himbo.
Oh, absolutely.
Days. So I don't know. There's definitely someone who has made a deep dive, and I'd probably have to say it probably originates on Tumblr or something.
Most likely. That's where all the best originate.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. His head is good and
dumb.
I
think I have it on my mind because not only did I watch that video today, but I also literally just watched the first episode of My Adventures with Superman.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh,
Clark, my boy!
Clark Kent! Clark Kent! Oh!
I don't know if I would call Clark a himbo, though, because he's not dumb.
I would go himbo. He is not dumb.
He's not dumb.
But he's definitely,
so
he kind of gives me Gallo vibes. Just a little.
He's definitely got his moments of the brain shuts off, but he's not Kronk or Fred levels of I'm oblivious to everything else.
Panic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more like I am freaking out and I don't know what to do right now.
Exactly. Versus when you have characters like Kronk and and Fred from Mystery Incorporated, it's really head empty except for two things, and Kronk's is baking and Fred's is traps. That's it. There's nothing else up there.
No thoughts, only traps.
No thoughts, only traps. Oh, Dichotomy said something long, but I don't have time to read it, Mars.
Let me check it out. I'll try. The anime thing got me thinking. By definition, aren't all the main anime protagonists himbos?
No!
Naruto, Goku, Luffy, all a heart of gold, all dumb.
Goku, yes. Naruto and Luffy, no.
Luffy, no. No,
they're not beefcaked enough.
They just don't have the muscle for it.
Yeah, we're talking again. Yeah, Goku, 100%. Goku's again pinnacle himbo up there.
Because it's got to be a cross between a heart of gold, little bit of an empty brain, and big muscly body.
The man has to be too muscly for his own good. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man could crush you if he wasn't so pure.
Well, he could crush you, but he gives the best hugs.
Dichotomy. It has nothing to do with actual power. It has to do with physical muscle mass, which Naruto and Kronk is a Dorito. Naruto is a fit child. You know, there's a when he's an adult, he's a fit
Naruto
man.
Worked out, he's never he's not a triangle.
Yeah. It's the physical amount of strong on him, you know.
Strong.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with actual power. Because then, you know,
well, then you end up in a Shaggy versus Goku battle.
Yeah.
And no one wants to open that can of worms.
Except if you read the webtoon Scoob and Shag. There's no Goku, but it's a ride. Certainly a ride.
Why am I having such trouble chasing this line?
Come on. Like a sort of loincloth tabard vibe going on here. And what kind of eyes you got? Ooh, he's got really fun face markings. How much time do I have? I have a good amount of time. He's got really fun face markings on him. So
you have time to add them.
We gotta get into the face here.
Oh my god, did I say... I just did all of Hoten's hair in Cynic colors. Fuck it, bucket tool. I'm not redoing that. Fuck it.
Just make sure the bucket tool is set to, like, refer to only the layer you're on and not all layers, because otherwise it won't get under the lines.
Oh yeah, no, I learned that the hard way. Okay. I am a veteran now.
Good. I can never know what, you know, you might have had to gone through or not yet. You know, who knows? There's always more mistakes you can make.
I mean, thank you for not assuming that I have figured it out and am done making mistakes. I'm so glad you assume that I will keep making mistakes.
I don't know if you've made this mistake yet. I make mistakes all the time. What
about this particular mistake?
Yeah, exactly. I haven't colored, you know, with the wrong characters palette yet, but I have done, like, definitely the wrong color, you know, of the character. Like, oh, nope, that's Hotsun's jacket, not his skin or something. I've done that.
I've done that multiple times, too. It's just like, ugh, why?
It's one of those things where it's like, they're similar when they're, like, separate, but when they're all together on him, it's like, these are very different colors. How did I not know?
And sometimes you don't notice until they're, like, actually down on the page, and it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Shit.
Exactly. Well, we give him lion-y nose. One of my favorite things to draw. I love giving the animal noses.
It's a good thing Sphinx was the first pick.
Oh yeah, honestly, top tier.
Like, this was made for you, Ori.
Exactly. All right, and now we get to add the fun little face thing. So he's got, like, I can't tell if that's a third eye or not. I'm making it more like a head jewel. Got sort of some of this, some of that.
I think it's more like a jewel.
It's just the same exact color as his eyes, so, like, who knows?
Yeah, might as well. Oh, I love those markings.
Yeah, markings are the best.
So majestic.
Exactly. All right. He's got claws, definitely. They have toe beans. All right. Kind of iron out his physique a little more in here. Well, we got some time. There it is. Oh, no. Too many. There it is. Boop. Come in like that. There he's going. Give him some hair. Oh yeah, I mean, look how Egyptian this guy is. It's pretty Egyptian. So, I leaned in. Okay, I need to beef out his legs a little more. They're kind of skinny for his physique. He didn't skip leg day, okay? He's got more quads and calves than I gave him.
I mean, he's got to work out. He's
And
got to
lions
keep
have
the
big
fortress
paws,
and the
so-
gates safe.
Yeah. And he's got to be able to hold those wings, you know? It's a lot of work.
Exactly. He's got to be able to fly.
Mm-hmm. He can fly. Fly just like a bird. Because he is a bird.
Up and fly.
All right. I'm pretty happy with that. He's a little not as proportioned as I like him to be. But we can fix
long
that.
story short, I will probably go back to watching my adventures with Superman once stream ends.
It's so good, isn't it?
Well, I'm definitely hooked because of the dynamic between the characters.
It's so good.
I really like that it feels like everyone has their own, like,
Stuff?
way to contribute.
Oh, yeah.
Like no one's sidelined. Everyone
Oh,
kind of has their
100%.
own thing going, which is nice because I feel like in so many of these stories, especially the Superman ones, like Superman and the love story between him and Lois and his identity are always a focus. Like Jimmy's just like the quiet support in the corner and stuff like that. I feel like that is completely changed here. Which
Oh yeah,
is
Jimmy
so,
actually
so
does
nice.
a lot of stuff in this whole thing. Oh, tail. We're right. Tail.
Oh right,
We're
you
right.
have 1 minute,
We
Ori.
need a tail. Okay. I got time. There's a tail. You're right. We're right. I was too caught up in his muscly physique.
Ugh.
Okay, I was too caught up in the muscles. You know, it was very important to me that he was as beefy as possible. 7. Yeah, you're right. 7 appendages. But you know, that's 5 appendages is pretty common. 7 is not. All right, there he is.
Ah, how lovely.
Pretty happy with that. He doesn't need his legs to be connected with that badass tail? What? I'm not sure. Yeah, okay.
I'm not quite sure I follow.
Oh, chat's being chat already, and it's not even making
Chat.
monsters hot.
Chat, what you doing?
All right. Here's our Andros face.
Fly! Stupid! Get out!
Or horn. Choop, 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 choop. Bwah, 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 bwah. All right. Does anybody else have another monster? Andrew.
Hiya, Jamie. Appreciate the
Thanks.
lurk. Glad to have you.
Hello,
Hope you're doing
Jamie.
well.
Yes.
Oh, you have a
Enthuse.
request, Enthuse? Please,
Be
please.
my guest. Be my guest. Put your Gijinka in the chat.
I think we'll probably have a list going with people's requests.
Yes, if people have requests, they can put it in. Monodrone.
Monodrone?
Oh, we already did the
Mono.
making monsters hot with the
an
monodrone.
idiot.
So this will be interesting.
Well, now you get to make him human.
Well, he kind of was more human in the making monsters hot. Do we remember the making monsters hot one?
I gotta
That's
be
fine,
honest,
Jamie.
I do
Enjoy
not.
D&D.
Oh,
Alright.
no worries, Jamie.
Oh yes, this one has to be even more humanoid. Yeah. Again, he doesn't have a tail, so he only has 6 appendages, not 7. So it does work out there. Yeah, do we want to see the making monsters hot monodrone?
Think we have to.
Okay, here. There is 80 bajillion folders I have to go through. Come on, hot monsters. Was it the first one? I think it was the first one.
Was the first, yeah.
Oh, I posted them in chat. No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, it was the first one. There he is. I was forced to make him a bottom. That was the whole thing. I drew too many tops.
Oh, yeah, that's
The mimic
right.
was a top. You know, the hungry was a top. The mind flayer was a top. I had to make the monodrone a bottom. I was
we just
forced.
need
It was
balance.
required. And then the cadaver collector was also, yeah, a robotum. All right.
It's pretty good.
I have no idea how we're gonna go about this one, so let's give my brain a second. He's got the wings, he's got the one eye, but it is. We'll probably go the route of Bill, you know, this sort of thing. All right, we'll make it happen. And we are off to see the races. You guys like to make me draw characters that are predominantly, like, yellow. This one's also very yellow.
That's an interesting theme.
And it's just what they did. Bill Cipher Monodrone. I mean, in the vibes of, like, he's not gonna have one eye. You know, he's gonna have two, quote unquote have two. You know, it's not gonna be like a cyclops, I guess is the word I'm trying to go for, right? He's very round. So we'll make him pretty round. We'll make him fairly round. A round boy. How does round work? My brain is blanking on how round works. Kind of like this. That's how it works.
You can do it, Ori. We believe in you.
He has weird legs. One didn't pick was a Nothic. Yeah. Well, you'll see how I deal with it here.
Yes, all shall be revealed momentarily.
So he's got kind of odd legs, but they're very skinny, so you'll taper them well. Come on. You don't want to work with me, do you? Okay. That works. And then he's
Don't you love it when your tools choose not to work with you?
He's got skinny arms too. He's a very interestingly shaped person. Oh, I kind of like him though. If you cover up the head right now, it's a fish. It was kind of a fish.
It was toeing the line.
Okay. We got sort of the thing going on. This is where we're going. We gotta add the little wings coming off. Technically, they come off his head, so you know what? We're gonna have a good time.
Oh, that'll be pretty.
We're gonna have a nice time. It's the Noop vibe.
Hell yeah.
There it is. I just gave it, you know. I like, this is hilarious to me that it's like, this one feels like the more wild one than the other one. And the Making Monsters Hot, I don't know. I like this. This is what I personally wanted out of Making Monsters Hot, if I'm being particularly, you know, honest. But Dylan came into chat the first time we did it, and he's like, no, you can't just make it like a mimic that's a human. And it's like, well, fine. I guess I have, like, requirements now. So, you know, we made a
apparently
new
there
one.
are rules to Making Monsters Hot that we're just not aware of.
I was not aware of it. So instead, I made a new game.
In our defense, no one gave us the rule book.
You know, I made a new game instead. He's very large, round eye.
If you don't like the rules, make your own.
Exactly. How's his eye? He's got his pretty blue eye. Okay. That's good. And then we take this one. And we go like that. And we add on top of it. Have them slap both shoulders to first. Yeah, and zoom in on the mouth. Yes. Dylan was talking to me about that, about stream. And he's like, they have to kiss at the end. And I was like, no, they don't. They don't have to kiss at the end of the comic. They can, but they don't have to.
I mean, they certainly can.
But there's no guarantees.
We do have control over that.
No guarantees.
But does it make sense for
really think so.
Current characters? No.
I can see a nice big hug at the end.
I can see a nice epilogue where if you cut to a few years later and everyone's kind of found their places in the world.
Do a CPR scene to shut people up. No.
Ah, perfect. Yes. Well, I don't think Hotson can swim, so we could certainly have a man overboard situation if need be. But let's be honest, Milana would not know the first thing about CPR.
Yeah,
That's
it would
all
be
Sinnott.
Sinnott. It would be
That's
Sinnott.
all Sinnott's department.
Which is some people are for that, but
some people I've been hearing it. They're calling them the science boys.
yeah. We heard stuff about the science boys. Okay, now the hair situation.
I do think there will have to be at least a part where during some kind of climatic battle, someone falls into the water or someone is in some kind of danger and needs to be saved. And it's definitely going to be for character-related reasons that emphasize like their story, their arc, their growth. But we will get there when we get there. Patience, everybody. All in due time.
It's like I literally don't think I could be a comic artist for a BF. I don't think I could do it.
We have not mashed any ship names enthuse, but hey,
Yeah.
everyone is more than welcome to. Hotano is interesting.
Malotzen.
Ooh, I like that one. That's just fun to say.
Exactly.
Malotzen. Me trying to make a mash name out of Sinnott and Hotson, and I just ended up with Citizen.
Citizen.
That's kind of cute, actually.
It is pretty cute. Yes, steak is bad. I don't know what you don't see about a dichotomy. Steak is
Okay.
steak.
Dichotomy.
That's why it's bad.
Dichotomy, Malotzen has a rhythm
Like
to it.
melody.
It has a melody. Like you say it and you have Malotzen. It just kind of floats off the tongue. When you have steg, you just kind of choke it out.
Steg.
Cynics.
Cynics.
I mean, that is what they are together. So, yeah, it checks out, Enthuse. No, I'm sorry. Steg was very uncreative. Steg is short for Stegosaurus.
Ooh, that too. It's also like the Meg, you know? Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's just weird.
Well, that was Hollywood deciding that one-word snappy titles are better than, you know, an actual title for your movie.
Well, it's funny. It's the difference between, like, anime slash, like, manga, where it's like, no, let's describe the entire plot in the
This is where
title.
anime needs to chill its beans, because we have way too long names.
Oh my god, it's too much.
It's like, I want to recommend stuff to people, but I don't want to have to quote a novel at them when I tell them the title.
Yeah. That time I was reincarnated on a slime, too long. Too long.
That one's not even the most egregious.
I know! That just makes it worse.
That's why I've shortened it to reincarnate as slime. 3 words.
Call it slime.
3 words max.
It's slime. That's slime anime. The slime isekai.
A slime isekai. Which is surprisingly really, really good. When I first started watching it, I was not expecting it to be really, really good. Rimuru is literally one of my favorite characters of all time.
I have only seen season 1 ever, and I have not gotten past it.
I want to cosplay Rimuru so bad, and I can't decide between their summer outfit or winter outfit, because both freaking slap. Just love the long blue hair, love the coats, love the clothing, just, sign me up. Is that actually real, Dichotomy? Is that an actual title? Or did you make that up? Because honestly, I cannot tell the difference.
Yeah, nobody
I really
knows.
can't. We should play a game. We should play a game. Real anime title or not? Man, I am going through these panels so quickly because I am only doing the base colors.
Yeah, that's how it works.
This is wild to me.
That's why I like go through and I'm like, okay, these panels only need like the sky as a background. I'll do all of those first.
No, literally, I was like, I have no patience for details tonight.
I'm very annoyed
just
with
gonna
myself. I
do
didn't work on the comic
all the
at all
lines.
today. I was trying and struggling with finishing
Well,
the pretty boy.
After the bug attacks and the dog vomit, I don't blame you.
It was just so much.
You know, sometimes you just have days where you want to watch a 4-hour video essay about a 2010 cartoon and then take a nap for 2 hours. Not productive at all. I don't think the heat helped with that.
Yeah.
The heat definitely did not help. And I'm like...
Let me read the chapter, you're spoiling it. Yeah, that's the vibe. They definitely just... You know, it's like, why do you feel the need to explain the whole thing in the title or the chapter title? You know, like why? Yeah. What is necessary there for that, you know?
See, I've seen instances where that is cleverly done. Like, I think it was the Percy Jackson series where like the chapters were actually not foreshadowing, kind of explicitly telling you what happens in the chapter. Like, I think there was a chapter like the day I did something to my history teacher, or the day I wielded a pen, or something like that, but it's related to like the pen sword he gets, or his teacher turning into an evil creature, or something. Like, there's always a subversion of the chapter title, but
they
it's
did it
still
in
a spoiler.
Zachary Ying and the Dragon King as well. They kind of did it. Like,
I think they did too.
Yeah.
Zachary Ying took a lot of inspiration from Percy Jackson.
You know, like ancient emperors is just an MMO. You know, like stuff like that. And it was like, all like video game related.
It's like, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but there's always a little like, ooh, there's more
but
going on.
But it's also like,
you have
how? I don't know how, you know, right? It's like, how does this work? Is the man playfully round, or is he... He's pretty round. I don't know. You can decide whatever you want is under that. Just like you can decide what's under the judge's, you know, judge robes, you can decide what's under this man's like armor.
Dad bod or buff.
Yeah.
You make the call.
Is the armor just barrel-like and round, or is he, you know, filling it out that way? Who knows? Up to you. Up to interpretation. He does have a collar on now, though.
Kinky.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Miss Langtry's dead. That is pretty great. That is pretty great. That's such a good moment when he takes off the jacket and uses it as a tent. I can't.
Oh my god. That was amazing.
This guy's very soft. With a lot of clunk. He's very soft, though.
Leaning toward him, like, wearing it as armor.
Okay.
Because, like, usually the face kind of matches the body proportions as well. I feel like he'd have a rounder face.
I also, since his legs are so skinny and his arms are skinny, I can agree that he's probably, like, in a big barrel.
Yeah.
But he's pretty skinny underneath.
He's like, if anyone's seen the movie Robots, it's like that scene where Rodney is wearing the hand-me-downs and they're just massive on him.
I love Robots.
Such an underrated
movie indeed.
Hey, you want to talk about movies that shaped your formative years?
Oh my god, I watched that movie so much.
Changed my brain chemistry, I swear to God.
You're like too much now.
It was also super funny because so there's an actor, Mel Brooks. He plays Mr. Bigweld in the movie. But that was not my first introduction to him. My first introduction to Mel Brooks was watching Jaker's The Adventures of Piggly Winks. I think it aired on PBS, but I'm not quite sure. But he played Wiley the sheep on that cartoon, and that's where I remembered him from. So when I heard his voice for the first time in that movie, I turned to my parents and it was like, it's Wiley sheep from Wiggly's Adventures. And they're like, yeah, it's also Mel Brooks from a bunch of really famous old movies
And you're like,
never
I'm
seen.
a child. I don't know
I'm
this
like,
crap.
I don't know that. I just know he's the funny cartoon sheep.
All right, there's our boy. Okay, I'm having a lot of fun with Gijinkas. Are you guys liking Gijinkas? Anybody else got a monster they'd like? This is my favorite game
keep
so
those
far.
wrecks coming.
I'm feeling it a lot more than any other ones. Look at him.
I can see
Beef
you
man.
vibing.
Look at this guy. Yes.
I can see you vibing.
Mason, do you have a monster you'd like to put up?
Yes. Pop it in chat.
Ugh. The one side of my throat is sore, and it's just like I've been drinking lots of honey lemon tea.
That is the worst. I hate when that happens.
Well, to be completely fair, Enthuse, this is what I wanted Hot Monsters to be, personally. But, again...
Such things were not meant to be.
They were not meant to be. But, I went, look, I can make it. I can do my own thing, and here we are. This is the kind of characters I like to draw.
That is so damn cool. And that was in 15 minutes. Holy hell, I'm impressed.
Oh, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so far, obviously my favorite, but he has the most animalistic, shit going on, so obviously. But he's a soft boy, look at him. He's, like, ready to go on his first, his first mission. He's, like, all ready.
He just got recruited into the Royal Guard, and he's in training.
He's like the little brother from A Christmas Story, where he's like, I can't put my arms down. That's the vibe I get.
Get up, Ralphie!
Alrighty. Alright, I open up to anybody. Anybody have
Too
a monster
early,
to
Ori.
suggest?
Let us get past
Anyone
Halloween
else?
first.
What about a mimic? We want a mimic. Alright, we'll do a mimic.
Ooh, alrighty then.
We will do the classic 5e mimic.
We do love our mimics in this house.
Yes. There's one monster I'm curious if it will come up or not. It was not the mimic.
I bet I know what it is.
You definitely know what it is. Don't say it though. We can't
I can't
anybody.
sway chat, yes.
Exactly.
Nah, I wouldn't dream of it, Ori.
Okay. Let's take a brain moment. I bit my lip.
Ooh. All kinds of moments tonight.
I said Mars, don't say it, Dichotomy. Not you. I said Mars. I know
Yes,
Mars
I
knows
am
it.
banned.
I assumed that most of you were thinking it. Okay.
We just know you guys so
This is
well.
certainly gonna
That's
be
all.
a challenge, no question. So, how do I want to view this?
Decisions.
Decisions indeed. There's one thing, I like characters that have like chest mouths or like neck mouths or like stomach mouths, but I can never pull it off in a way that I feel like is my style and also a good not at the mouth face mouth. And so it's like, it's a challenge. Because there's one character, the OC, that I really, really like, and he has like a neck mouth. And I'm just like, yes, it looks really good, but it's very much not my style. So it's like, how do I draw this?
Don't worry, Ori. In our next comic, we will have a character that has a neck mouth.
You'll force me to learn how.
A ton of practice.
You'll force me to learn how. I mean, that's what the comic did.
I mean, that was the idea with the backgrounds and the Cawlers.
Alrighty, I guess we're just diving in here. We're just diving in. Look, I get to draw it with not yellow.
Ooh.
You can do sketch with purple. Yes, all my sketches are colorful. No, most of the time the colors don't have a lot of purpose. They start with like, yes, base color.
Except with Outcast, our characters are color-coded.
Yes, that's mostly because they interact with each other a lot. And also, like, you know, as you can see, like, I choose purple, I choose yellow as a starting point, but if there's a lot of detail and stuff going on, the color changes so that I can still, you know, see what's going on. Okay, we have to make this person very boxy. Very important here, obviously. And make them always too big. For the page. He's got lots of box. Lots of squareness to him. He's very straight-legged. Okay, I made the...
I'm about to say, how dare you assume his sexuality?
his like form is very, very chest-like. Does this look weird? If that's the chest, that's the okay. Why does, I don't know, something about his proportions is not doing it right now, and I don't know what it is. His knees are too low.
I'll have to pop over to the window to see what's going on.
That's the chest, I say? Yeah, it is the chest, I say. Okay. And there's his feet.
I have to ask, is he going to have the tongue?
Yes. Will it be that, protruding? No, but will he? He will have the tongue out. It's very important. To the whole thing. Do I cheat? I might cheat. Because it just makes the shape better.
How would you be cheating?
I'm gonna tuck his arms behind his back. Because it gives to this shape here so nice.
And that would make it more boxy.
Exactly. And then now this is something I was thinking about the whole time. He's got to have a kilt. Why does he have to have a kilt? Because the little lock is perfect for the little bag that they have in front of them. And then it just fits the shape of the creature.
So cute.
Very well. To have this kilt going on. Nope, too much warp. A sporin, thank you.
Aha!
Someone would know. I knew someone would know. His head is too small.
Guys, can't show it off because it is spoilers. But I am coloring a younger Sinet. A flashback Sinet.
A flashback Sinet. Such a sad Sinet. So if you're Irish, that's close enough.
Such a traumatized Sinet.
They're, they all got the trauma.
They do. They very much
None of them are safe. Some of them have, definitely, like, very apparent trauma, and other ones have more like, yes, it's just systemic sort of pain.
I am curious if chat thinks who they think has the most trauma out of all the boys. Who do they think has the most trauma? Who do they think has the least?
Hold on, how do I...
What one of them does? Dichotomy.
Yes.
Actually, 2 of them, technically. 3? No, 4. All of them. Actually, all of them.
I don't think... I feel like one of them doesn't have parent trauma.
A different type. Living up to expectations can definitely...
Oh, that's not the one I'm thinking about.
Well, I'm going to type you the one I'm describing. Because I can't say it.
Exactly, you cannot say it. Okay, this hair is not doing what I want it to do. We'll figure that out in a second. But how many eyes we got? 4 eyes? We'll do some eyes. I'm assuming you're typing it to me on Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, it's the spoilers. Just give him glasses? Okay, I'll just give him glasses. I'll just give him glasses. We'll give him Vash glasses, because the eyes are orange.
Give Vash glasses to any character, I am there. I fell back into Trigun fanfiction.
You have to finish that one, and then I'll draw the cover for it.
It must be Hanahaki week, because there are so many Vashwood Hanahaki stories.
It's perfect for them, though. I mean, like...
It is!
Come on!
No, literally, you have the geranium motif built right in, and you also just have them! And their personalities, and their refusal to accept anything good in their life.
But would you call that parent trauma, Mars? I don't know. I've never taken anything with psychology, so I'm definitely not the person to have.
That's where I feel it's kind of a blurred line, where it's not like direct.
He's the only one I would say is like, not really necessarily. Everybody else, yes.
I'll concede on that one. I'll concede on that. 4
out of 5 guaranteed boys have parent-related trauma, and many of them have non-parent-related trauma as well.
Yes, sometimes the parent-related trauma ties into other trauma.
Yeah. Yes, the he narrows it down so much. The he really.
The he super narrows it down.
The he really narrows it down. I wouldn't say, and I don't think...
I'll give you a hint. The character we're talking about is a caller.
That actually does narrow it down, but you know.
A little bit.
It's still 4 out of 5. All right. Oh, you knew it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, how do I wanna? The problem with this one is going to be the hair. I'm not sure how I want to do the hair. Oh, I see how I want to do the hair actually now. I looked closer at the chest, and I see how I want to do the hair. I need a more noticeable one. All right. Now the hair. I'm gonna put it. Oh, and you're gonna mail that box to yourself, and then when it arrives. Oh gosh, I need to shrink him again.
I need to rewatch that movie. It has been so long since I last watched The Emperor's New Groove.
It's such a good movie.
On the topic of movies, my copy of Spider-Verse arrived today.
Oh.
And I was so damn happy. I don't know when to watch it, though. It's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, well.
And it's hard to watch stuff in my house.
It's hard to find the time at all, in my opinion.
It's hard to find the time, and it's hard to wrestle the TV away from my folks. Like, I got lucky tonight with my adventures with Superman because I convinced my dad to watch it with me.
And he loved it, right? It's great.
No!
Oh, it's so good.
He's not against it, but in the first episode...
Is he a purist?
He's definitely not a purist, but he was definitely like, why is Clark Kent getting his ass kicked? Why does he have a black eye? It looks like Superman is getting beat up a lot. I'm like, you know the hero's journey, right? Like the character has to overcome.
It's also like he's never
interesting,
tried to really use his powers yet in this. Like this is origin of him being a hero. You know,
basically a retelling.
Yeah, it's not like he's already a hero. And, you know, in some cases, maybe he should have learned all of that stuff as a child, but in this case, no, he's experiencing it now.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of it is that he really doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Which is such a mood.
I love Clark. Okay. He's also got this poncho going on.
Okay, I know how I'm going to do this panel. I'm going to start with you, and then I'll draw underneath you so my lines don't run into each other.
This one is certainly an interesting take.
I do think my dad's enjoying it though, because he did say, like when I told him I had to go stream, he was like, "Okay, we'll watch it later," and I was like, "Yeah, totally."
Okay, well, that's good.
I'd love to.
I will be very curious. You just watched the first episode, or how?
Literally just episode 1.
I'm so curious.
We are not far at all.
How he's gonna take Mijurmala and the brain.
See, I will be honest. I have never consumed anything Superman related.
Well,
like I did not watch the movies. I did not read any comics. I didn't watch the cartoons.
While they're definitely not what the canon, they're also in a gay relationship. So it's like, we'll see how your father feels.
I did promise my dad Superman was straight.
Yes, which he is.
Before that, we were watching Fiona and Cake together because he actually started watching that with me. And he asked me, like, well, wait, why isn't Finn with Bubblegum? I don't think he made it very far in the original Adventure Time series. And I was like, well, Bubblegum and Marceline are together. They kissed in the finale. And he's like, oh, man, I wanted to see the kids. And I'm like, wait, what?
Bubblegum is thousands of years old, and Finn is 17, Father. Please. 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 Dad.
I did remember that. And he was like, but isn't that how these shows work? Like when the sequel comes out, you then follow the kids and then you get to see the original characters as
Nobody
parents.
likes Boruto. Like... If any of you would chat like Boruto, it's bad. Yeah, that's also true. The entire Candy Kingdom is her children. She literally goes over that.
Yeah.
It's terrible though.
So then I had to show him, well, Jake and Lady Radacorn are together and they have kids.
Yeah. And how do you feel? Does he feel better now?
He was like, oh, yeah, that's true. So then we finished Fiona and Cake. So then I was like, hey, you want to watch the new adventures of Superman? Because I've been dying to watch it. And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. And he was kind of stalling a little bit. So I was like, I promise Superman is straight. Like, yes, it's a modern retelling, but I promise he's still straight. And he's like, oh, I don't care about that. I'm like, okay.
If you say so.
If you say so.
And Jimmy is very much wingman, bro ham.
Oh, I have seen the clips.
He's great.
They are phenomenal.
My favorite. There's a moment when Jimmy like gloms onto Clark and he's like, "I'm never letting you go, buddy. Nothing's ever." And then they have like Clark and Lois kind of share at a moment, and he's like, "Okay, bye." Like runs away. Like I love Jimmy so much.
Honestly, so far with the first episode, like Jimmy is my favorite.
Jimmy's great, and he's definitely not sidelined, and like when they have like problems, they like talk about it. Like he's definitely not just like in the background or anything like that.
Good.
It's so good. So good. But
yeah, I should tell my dad that dichotomy, that her Candy Kingdom is her children.
Yeah. Also, I don't. It's just kind of forget Bubblegum being gay or straight or whatever. It doesn't matter. Finn and Bubblegum was never meant to be
Finn and Bubblegum were like the childhood crush.
Finn
Like
and Bubblegum
it's your first crush and you obsess over it. Was basically
like Finn
the
having
whole
a crush
vibe.
on his teacher, and then there was that whole arc where she was like 13, but she technically still never was 13, so it's kind of a little like.
I mean, they backpedaled on that super quick though, which I am so glad they did.
I
are
know
much better off for it.
You and Dylan share very similar feelings about Bubblegum, and she did a lot of wrong, but I feel like, you know, Marceline and her have a good time. She's got stuck with the other immortal. Yeah, I guess so. Bubblegum does have a lot to work on, but maybe they can work on better in the future. I have an eternity
that as like one of those stories where them being together does help them learn to be better people and work past their traumas.
Right. Here's Mimic.
Like, they do make each other stronger, and it's like, top tier shit.
Mimic man. Mimic NB. I don't know. This one's NB to me. It's a mimic. It's like Double Trouble.
I gotta be honest, this one's my favorite.
Really?
I see Double Trouble, but then I also see Kuga from Food Wars.
Okay.
I kind of see a little bit of Kirishima in there. Like, I'm seeing a whole mix of the really, like, I will say
so
what's on my mind, but I mean well type of characters.
So funny. Sphinx is still my boy. I mean, look at him. I do like the monitor.
I mean, the detail is amazing. I just really like the face.
That's true.
Of that guy.
It's one of those things where like I liked Bubblegum a lot in like early episodes when we didn't really know about her, but why is this one you guys fit? This is no offense. This is my least favorite one by far.
I think it is solely the face.
All right.
I just love the face.
Overall,
he's got like kind of superhero vibes almost.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, we got another one going. Just so much personality. Okay, you guys can be weird. You know, I accept that you guys, you know.
We never said we weren't weird. I don't know where you got that from.
But if someone wants to pop another one in chat who hasn't, otherwise we'll open up the floor to doubles. You should get about 3 or 4 more in before we have to pick one.
Yes.
And we get to do a little more on it.
Expand it.
I
will say though, if you do plan on watching Fiona and Cake, it is another multiverse story. But I think they explain it a lot better than more recent multiverse stories have. And you know, they have the foundations for a multiverse story, so it makes a little more sense. They're not just pulling it out of their butts.
It's one of those things where it's just like, maybe I'll get around to it eventually. I just really don't watch shows. If I'm being completely honest. I had to like make specific time to watch the one Demon Slayer episode because I was like, I'm gonna watch it with Mars, so I have to do my one little bit of homework.
You have to do your homework, Ori.
Exactly. But
and then it paid off because apparently season 4 is right around the corner.
Yeah, I know, right? But the only shows I watch are literally with you or Dylan. Like, I literally cannot think of a show I've watched on my own. Right now, it has been my closest is reading Dungeon Meshi.
That's not a show.
Exactly. It will be soon.
It will be. Well, that's what I feel you would have watched on your own regardless.
Oh, yeah, I love it way too much.
You just would have been like, I don't care if no one wants to watch this with me, I'll watch it. Which I realize sometimes that's the attitude you need to take. Otherwise, you're just going to miss out on a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yes, this thing.
I actually, I'm catching up with Dr. Stone. I finally saw the Ryusei special the other day, and I was like, oh, good to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had that brief time where I did, like, I watched Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 on my own, and I watched Demon Slayer, Season 2?
No, I think it was 1.
I watched Demon Slayer Season 1 on my own, but that was a while ago. And then I watched Demon Slayer Season 2 with the train and then the village.
Oh, yeah, because you went, like, back to back.
Yeah, I watched those 2 on my own, and then it was like... And then I haven't watched anything on my own in a long time. Forgetting Dr. Stone even existed. Such is life. There's, again, it's one of those reasons where it's like, yes, I would be immortal. There's too many things to watch.
There really are. There's too many things to watch. There's too many things to create.
Hated the ending of season 1 of Dr. Stone, Mason?
Really?
Alright, how do I want to do this person? Gotta have antenna.
That's the nice thing about it, Mason. It hasn't ended yet. It's still ongoing.
Yeah, it's just season end.
I find it such a fascinating show because this is the only show out there where I felt an appreciation for modern life. Like the way they talk about the technology we've created over the years, the way they go into detail about it, the way they describe the impact it's had on us as humans is just so intriguing to me. Like I have seen shows that glorify like cottagecore, the simple life, cooking. I have never seen a show that glorifies modern technology in a very poetic way.
My biggest gripe
it's so fascinating
with modern day technological wise is we lost the aesthetic.
Oh, definitely.
We lost the aesthetic. Everything is like, I'm going to be as smooth as possible, and that's it. Those are the options: smooth, flat, and shiny. And it's like, cool, but
no, that's
where's
gross.
where's the
personality? Where's the charm?
And that's my biggest thing. It's
I totally agree with that.
I love toilets and the TV and the internet,
society.
But it's just like, you know, sliced bread, grocery stores. You know, I totally am like, yeah, I would not want to actually like go back in time. That would be absolutely horrendous. But
I need to live in an era where there's plumbing and medicine. You know, vaccines, please.
Yeah, I just want the aesthetic that the past had, you know?
Yeah.
We really lost the aesthetic.
Well, that's why it's nice to have things like farmers markets and little mom and pop stores. It feels like reclaiming a little bit of that era.
That's like, yeah, you know, but it's the same in like houses, you know, God, I hate modern style houses.
Same.
So much. They're so boring. They're so gross. I went to like old money when I worked as an arborist. Old money houses. Oh my God, being in those houses was like amazing. Like grand staircases with, you know, carved banisters and like mural walls and like solariums with wingback chairs, and it was just like, this is what I want.
Please give.
Exactly, please give. All right, gotta get some leggies in here. We gotta get all the leggies. Lots of leggies. And
all the leggies.
What are your thoughts, Mars, on the season 1 finale of Dr. Stone? I never watched it, ever.
Crap. I'm trying to remember how season 1 ended. I know that toward the mid of the season, they found out that Senku's dad went to space. There was the famous musician with them. They saw the petrification beam from space, and he worried about his son, but he like kind of left not the clues behind, but he did leave a message for him, if I remember correctly. I can't remember if that was like mid season 1 or end season 1. But I remember really enjoying that part because it really showed the connection between Senku and his dad, which we didn't see too much prior. Like we knew he was good, but he was more of a background character. You hated the part with the record. Was it the part where they were listening to the song that was played, or listening to the father's message? Because I feel like there were two moments. It has been a long time since I've seen season 1, so I apologize if I'm getting it mixed up. I just have like certain scenes in my head and I'm trying to put them in order. Suppose. And maybe for me, I give myself a little more to the emotions of that scene. I kind of interpret that like sometimes that's how you watch Disney movies, right? Like with Snow White, it's like it doesn't make logical sense that the prince ended up in the same forest. It doesn't make logical sense that the kiss would wake her up, but you kind of give yourself to the emotions because you know something good is going to happen later in the story. And I think sometimes that's kind of a compromise you have to make with stories. Like, I feel like the more I'm sucked into the story, the less I question it. So it could totally be that it made absolutely zero sense. I was just way too into it to really notice, which I think is totally possible because at the end of the day, film and storytelling is an illusion. The song and also how Senku seems to know everything that happened in season despite being dead for hundreds of years. Well, Senku wasn't dead for 100 years. He was awake and conscious. He was counting every single second. He was petrified to keep himself awake during that time. I think that was in episode 3 they explained that because it was kind of a flashback episode to show how he escaped being petrified and kind of was able to build very rudimentary basic tools. Oh, Senku's dad, my bad. Okay, no worries. Senku's dad seems to know everything that happened in the season. Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I suppose that is kind of a stretch. It still makes me cry. I can't help what I cry at. Yeah, it does raise a question. Like, how could he have possibly know? I think I'd have to go back to the scene and see exactly what was said, like what the dialogue was like. Like, how could he have known? My kind of interpretation of that, and again, this is someone who has not seen season 1 in a while, so I could be totally wrong. But the way I remember it, at least how I felt at the time, was like, oh, he knows his son so well. He knows Senku will find a way out of this and eventually find a way to receive this. Like, he just has that much faith in his son, which kind of makes their bond like even stronger. I don't know. I was just so taken by the relationship between them that he got Senku his first little chemistry set, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. What can I say? I am a sucker for, I think it was found family. I think Senku was adopted, if I remember correctly. So yeah, if I'm correct about that, if my memory hasn't totally failed me, yeah, found family trope for the win.
Okay. All right. This is certainly
I could
going.
see how that show might not be everyone's cup of tea. There is a lot of science talk. They go off model a lot. Like, for those big expressions, they definitely they utilize squash and stretch to the fullest effect with that show, for sure. And I could definitely see how that would throw off some people. Like, the expressions are crazy, the jokes can throw people off. Season 2 was, in my opinion, very good, Mason. I think we all know I'm very biased at this point. Maybe you'd be better with a my anime list review than me, because I will fully admit I am very biased toward that show. I thought season 2 was really good. They brought Tsukasa back, and they kind of how much can I say without spoiler? They gave him a bit of an arc. They gave him a bit of a meaningful arc that expanded his character and also expanded Senku's character as well, because a history between them is acknowledged, and things kind of play out from there. It's interesting. They make good use of their characters.
All right, I sort of changed how it worked, but I like it more now.
I just realized I have not been coloring this entire time. Oops.
Mars has been talking too much. How dare you guys? No,
it's so hard to talk coherently and color at the same time.
It's a lot of work.
Like, wow, brain power. Ow.
How do I want... Maybe just some... Yeah, okay.
Oh, I could see it. Axolotl. Axolotls are so cute.
No. You loving this? I'm glad. I'm glad.
Dichotomy, feel free to interrupt whenever you want. We just go on tangents.
It's
around
definitely not
here
really
on
an
the drawing
interruption.
nights.
We will keep talking.
Oh yeah, it's not an interruption at all. Please pop whatever you would like
Okay,
in
no,
chat,
this is
ask
not doing
questions, contribute. Oh, I'm glad you know that.
Okay. Okay, it was going, and then I don't know. No hair, I guess. We'll just have horns. Ooh, horn.
I have the horns replace the hair. That's pretty cool.
Horn things here. Okay, this one's pretty messy, but I'm pretty happy with where it is. I don't know if I want to add much more to this one. I could attempt to clean it up a little bit.
Oh, that's your call.
Well, I have like 3 minutes. 4.5 minutes, so.
How much can she get done? We shall find out.
Tune in next time on Dragon Ball D&D.
Which starts right now.
Yeah. After these commercial messages. Have you read our comic Outcast? I know you have, but you should, even if you have. Read it again. It's good. That's commercial.
Yes. Binge it. Take in everything
Read
about
it again.
Write down your fan theories.
Tell us your ships.
Yes. Tell us your ship name.
You're not allowed to say you ship someone and then not tell me who it is, okay? The Spanish readers do that all the time. Oh, I have so many ships in this comic. Fucking who? Tell me. You can't...
You can't just tell us and then bail. That's not how this is done.
Exactly. Not allowed.
Ah. There we go.
Yeah.
A beautiful, terrified boy.
It means I had a very, clear idea of how it was gonna go with that economy, so it worked out. It worked out.
The hallway light on.
Let's go.
Be right back, guys. I gotta go save electricity.
Mars is being haunted, guys. Pray for her. She might die at any moment. She did the Bloody
Better
Mary.
not be a ghost. I already tossed a spider out tonight.
Oh no, that's the first sign. And then the walls will ooze green slime.
Oh no, wait, they always do that.
Nosferatu.
Tisk tisk.
Ooh, Dragon Ball Z is what inspired you to take up art? That's pretty neat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting, Mason. I never watched any Dragon Ball Z, if I'm being honest. Technically, I saw a portion of one episode that I think was young Goku with the tail thing happening. I don't know. It was very weird. I didn't know anything about Dragon Ball Z. I had only Dragon Ball at all. I had only recently gotten into anime, and I think I turned on Adult Swim or Toonami or whatever it was at the time that had it, and I was like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on. This is kind of weird. I'm gonna stick to Fairy Tail, and I stuck to Fairy Tail. I'm a Tumblr baby, I guess. Tumblr made me who I am.
You take the Tumblr, Rex.
No, literally. Why did I watch Fairy Tail? Because so many people who liked Gravity Falls and everything was like, yes, also we're drawing Happy and Natsu all the time. And I'm like, who the hell is this blue cat? And then it was Fairy Tail. I was like, okay, well, if they like it, I guess I'll check it out. And then I watched a very, very long anime, and Natsu, one of my favorite boys.
One of the reasons I watched a show called Gensomaden Sayuki, it is a show from the late 90s. It's basically a retelling of Journey to the West. It has another Goku, honestly my favorite Goku, because he's a child and Sanzo is very much reluctant dad, and the other two guys in the group are very willing uncles. So it is great. Love the found family vibes. But I found that show because I was on Instagram and I saw some ship art of the two characters in it. The other guys, obviously not Goku, thank God. I feel like I need to clarify because internet be internet.
Yes.
But I saw it and I was like, wow, these character designs are really... Night Mason. Thanks for chatting about Dr. Stone. I loved hearing your opinion. It was really, really nice. I like getting to talk anime with you guys, so thank you for the opportunity. What the hell was I saying?
Ship.
Oh, yeah. It was ship art, and the character designs were just so interesting to me because one of the guys, he has a monocle and like a short haircut, and then the other guy has kind of this long hair but then two antenna coming out of his head. So I'm like, okay, what's going on with these designs? I need to find out what show this is from. So I don't even remember how. I think I actually posted a comment asking the artist, like, hey, where are these guys from? And they actually told me. And then I found on my anime list, and I was like, okay, if I can find this on, I think it was Kiss Anime at the time, you know, back when Kiss Anime was still around. And yeah, it was a freaking good show. It was really, really good. It definitely had the 90s-isms. Definitely had the hallmarks of the 90s anime, you know, lanky boys, stilted animation,
nice,
very bad special effects, but you know, you kind of give yourself to the madness a little bit because you know you're watching something from the 90s, so you're like, okay, I accept this. I know. Oh,
Nobody add at me. I'm gonna finish this part.
I'm sorry. I got too into talking about Sayuki.
There's dichotomy.
I'm
coming
so
in with
sorry.
the stream lag. It's okay.
Well, yes, if dichotomy is coming in with the lag, then that means I wasn't too late. So, yay.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
You know, because you're kind? All right, Oscar. Sure, sure. You're also tired from doing all your room stuff. I can understand. No screaming.
That is exhausting.
Everybody's doing room updates.
I think it's just one of those things in fall, you know?
Forget like, spring cleaning, it's fall decorating.
Well, fall is the start of stuff, right? You got school, you got fairs, so why not update your room?
I don't know how you would pronounce that. Remoras?
Remoras? Right. Got me.
I really want to say, like, Remoraid, like the Pokemon, but I know that's wrong. Okay, I made him a little more top-heavy than I meant to, but it works for the monster, so we're good. There it is. All right. We got 2 more if you're fast. Oscar, do you have a D&D monster that I should make into a Gijinka? A Gijinka is essentially a Cawler monster. New fave, I outdid myself. Good. This one's better than the Mimic, no question.
Nice.
Some wild images of the Remor Haze, though. Don't pick the obvious one. What, are you, like, waiting for the end, or you're trying to get through one without it?
I don't know. Would it be an Ori and Mars stream if we didn't do it?
You can't force it. You cannot force it.
That is true. Can't force anything.
Yeah. Come on. Come on, quick, Oscar.
Come on.
I don't know. We'll see, Dichotomy. We'll see.
Only time will tell.
Only time and tide will tell.
I do believe that was a line from the comic.
It is. The crow people? You want a Kenku person? Okay. I mean, they're gonna be just a Cawler, essentially. Well, they don't really have wings, but we can do a Kenku. Kenku. 5e.
Kenku. More like Kenku.
I can coo.
It's Kenku, not can't coo.
Exactly. Panics and Normie. You're fine. They're just already like a bird person, you know, so they're just gonna be slightly less bird, more person, you know? Just such as life. If that's what you want, I am willing to oblige.
Ori provides.
take one more image because there's a lot more images for these boys than anything else. Just sit, Dichotomy's bullying you? It's okay.
Aw.
Dichotomy, don't bully. Oscar, you can bully other people, I guess. You can bully Mars. She can take it.
Hi.
I said you can take it. You're strong.
I did was sneeze.
Yeah. Bully her for sneezing.
Oh.
She deserves it.
What did I ever do to you?
You let chat bully me sometimes. That's what you did.
I gave you lovable characters that you all want to see together, and this is how you treat me.
Yeah, and I drew them. That exchange has happened. The exchange has been made. The die has been cast. You can't hold that one over our head.
Exchange. Why would you do this to me?
And now you are tied. Don't ruin that. Oh no! Okay, never mind. I'm never actually mean to Mars. Honestly, Dylan's more mean to Mars.
Dylan definitely teases a lot more.
Dylan's also more mean to me than Mars has ever mean to me, so you know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes Dylan and I do team up on Ori.
They team up on me. In innuendo land, usually.
The innuendos are just so easy to tease you about, though.
Because it's just like, I really don't get it right away all the time.
Dylan isn't in the tie. Dylan is in the lead.
No. How dare Dylan be the favorite? He's only on here once, 1.5 times a week.
Okay, Ori. You like Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Yeah.
How often does Yuji Todori appear in episodes?
Most of them?
How often does Nanami appear in episodes?
Not as many as them.
My point has been made.
It doesn't count.
Because Nanami's your favorite.
I like how
he shows up
Mars is never going to let me live down this one specific case where I like a side character more than the main character. There's one show. She can't think of any other ones. She cannot. It doesn't exist.
You did prefer Kirishima over Deku, so I could use that.
You're right. We did talk about My Hero. But I feel like out of all the shows, most people don't like Deku the most.
Natsu, you have protagonist syndrome. Yeah, I will admit.
He's my boy.
Let's see. What other shows? Orin High School Host Club. Yeah, you like...
I like Kyoya.
You like Kyoya. He's a side. He's not the main course.
Alright, I like Kyoya.
He's not the main
I don't know.
course.
There's a certain extent where it's like... Okay, I have a question, though. Would you count if I said, like, Megami is my favorite in Jujutsu Kaisen? Like, I don't know if it counts as, like, the characters that show up all the time. Like, Nanami is by far a side character. Like, I give you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's very much not in every episode. He's very much just here sometimes. Like, I can give that to you as a side character, right? But does it count if Kyoya's in every goddamn fucking episode? You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
more a supporting character,
yeah,
I think.
like, I feel like you can't come for me when there's, like, 5-6 main characters and you pick one. Like, I wouldn't say, you know.
Well, that's why Orin High School was difficult.
We give all like, our boys.
What can I do with this?
You know, a lot of love as well. You know, so it's not like any of them are really ever like sidelined.
We do try to make it balanced with them. That's how we ended up with the hangout episodes.
Exactly. So
you know, they like needed their moment to shine independently.
Nanami is definitely like, this is not doing what I want to do for some reason. Nanami is definitely solidly side character.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, that's like saying, you know, if you picked like Sakura or I'm really fucking Sasuke and not Naruto.
I was about to say, who the hell picks Sakura?
But what I'm saying is, like, they're still in it, like, a very large amount.
A very fair
vast
amount.
Majority of it. So, I wouldn't count that as necessarily
this is
not
where I'm
being,
wondering,
like...
I'm very curious, how do you guys characterize side characters and supporting characters, or are they the same thing to you? Because in my mind, when I think of side character, I think of someone on the sidelines, kind of hanging out, not doing much. But when I think of supporting character, I hear the word support and I'm like, okay, that character has a more active role. They're taking more actions in this story. But sometimes I talk to other writers
well, I
and
hate
they're
Sasuke,
like, well,
so it doesn't really matter.
The
Dichotomy.
exact same thing.
Dichotomy,
So
one of my favorite
I'm curious
things.
what your guys' takes on that are.
One of my favorite things is when I first started watching Naruto, I was like, why does everybody hate Sasuke? He's not that bad. And then he freaking did like the thing that made everybody hate it. And I went, yeah, fuck Sasuke. I hate Sasuke. Fuck him. He's the worst. Terrible. I hate this child. I have never hated a child more than I hate Sasuke. And then I watched this show called Princess Tutu. It's a great anime. Fantastic anime. Love it, love it, love it. And I hated this one character so much. I hated him. I hated Fakir. I was like, fuck you, Fakir. You're a big dick. Go away. We don't need you. Leave. And favorite character. He's my favorite character. And I like tell everybody he's a reverse Sasuke because it's like,
really
God,
is.
I hate this character so much. And then it's like, no, I love this character. I would die for this character. Favorite character, best boy. And versus Sasuke, I'm like, why does everybody hate him? He's just kind of an edgy boy. And then it was like, oh no, I agree. Terrible, terrible child. Horrible, horrendous
How dare
child.
he hurt Naruto like that?
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Hard to say where the line is.
Between side character and supporting character?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the second you have
that's always what I find interesting.
a group of people, like it's a lot easier. Like, yeah, you might not pick the protagonist because they hang out with their like 2 friends. You get like 3 of them. You know, I mean, it's hard to have 3 full protagonists.
Classic example for me, Hunter x Hunter. You have Gon, you have Killua, you have Kurapika, and you have Leorio. My favorites are Killua and Kurapika. And then I like Leorio, and then Gon is like at the bottom of the list. And he's supposed to be the main character. So I definitely have like side character syndrome as well. I never said I didn't. I should rewatch Hunter x Hunter. That was a good show.
But I definitely lean protagonist most of the time. There's no question. But protagonists usually have the vibes that I want. So
it's kind of built into the story because you're meant to like the protagonist. You're meant to root for them. You're meant to relate to them in some cases.
I also like
it's really
a lot of the
easy to
tropes
like protagonists.
that the protagonists do. But that's like, okay, in Castlevania, yes, I love Trevor Belmont, and yes, he is the protagonist, but I wouldn't fault anybody for, like, I wouldn't call them liking side characters if they picked Sypha or Alucard, you know? Like, they have big parts in it. Like, we learn about
friggin' love Alucard. Or let me rephrase that. I love Alucard's voice.
Okay, Alucard is great. I the one thing with the twins in that one season, I can't deal with.
I think I ever watched that. So what scene with the twins?
There's one season,
and
I can't remember what season. It's either, I think it has to be 2 because I don't think it is 3.
It definitely wasn't season 1 because I don't remember it.
It's not season 1. Says the person always with the stream named after me. I'm sorry. The name was long before Mars and I decided to stream, and I streamed alone before Mars. But back to the thing. Yeah, so I think it's season 2, and there's just a lot of moments in season 2 that are very sexual. And well, one of them, I'm like, cool, we can get behind whatever. There's like this whole thing with Alucard takes in these 2, I can't remember if they're twins or they're just brother and sister, and their goal is to kill him. But so he's very lonely in the castle all alone, and so they essentially like live with him, trying to like learn, under the guise of like learning from him. And then it's sort of this like, but Alucard's lonely, and then they're all naked and they crawl into bed with him, and I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, they do it, and then they try to kill him, and then he has to kill them because they try to kill him, and then they're like heads and bodies are like on stakes outside his house, and it's just like, this one I can't do.
Don't need that in my life.
This one I cannot do. I can't. that's not the ace in me. That one's just weird. You know, like
that's just a bit too much.
They're definitely related, and they're definitely like and they're young. They're like 18 or something. Like they're too young. It's weird. I can't. Does anybody in chat know anything what I'm talking about? You guys see Castlevania? The dolls. Yeah, the doll. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Oh boy. That
one
sound great.
That one gets me the most because they're like flipping back and forth between these two like sex scenes essentially, and one of them is I think his name is Isaac and Lenore, which is like, okay, like I understand what's going on here, like I could understand the purpose of this like scene. And you haven't seen it, you're just taking my word? Alright, dichotomy. I could understand the purpose of the scene. She's essentially manipulating him into being her, like, slave, essentially. And she, like, in this moment, she, like, slips a ring on his finger that literally is, like, mind controls him, essentially. And so he can't, like, do anything against her will. She can command him to do. So it's all a manipulation the whole time. And her whole thing is manipulation. So it's like, okay, I understand this whole entire thing, right? Because she has to get him to like say certain words, and they like are said in the context of this like very, intimate moment, and it's like, okay, I get it. The one with the twins, just
why did it need to go that far?
Like they could have had and then they're
kind of reminds me of the uncomfortableness of that final episode of Primal.
Oh, that yeah, that one. Anybody see Primal? Anybody see Primal? That one gets me. I can't. Yeah, that one hurts me too. They could have, because the problem is they so could have easily done it. Yeah, and the last episode, Oscar. Why couldn't they have done it? Yeah, both are good. Both are good options. No, okay, dichotomy. Primal is a show about a caveman and a dinosaur and an unlikely friendship, essentially. And it's almost completely without words. Like, they don't speak, because dinosaurs can't speak, and cavemen don't have language. And when there is language, it's a language that is not English or really any other language. So there's really never any verbal communication, specifically by speaking words.
Relies on the audience to kind of interpret what's going on through the music, the expressions, the animation. Like it's really well done in that regard.
And it's very emotional. And it's really crazy. At the end, this one female character that we have gone through a lot with the main character, Spear, he's like saved her, and he's like kind of chosen her over the dinosaur. There's a whole lots of things, but they're finally like together at her village, and they're like all settling down. But there's this demon that is yeah, why would you fuck with Darth Vader? But there's a demon that's hunting Spear because of other shit that he did in order to get the woman back, because she was kidnapped. And essentially, they're about to have a life together when this demon comes to kill Spear. And so, to protect the village and everything, he kills the demon. However, the demon is made of fire, essentially. So he is incredibly, horribly, horrendously burned all over his entire body. And he is dying. And in the end, she comes to his dying, nearly a corpse, incredibly, like, past third-degree burned body, and somehow has sex with him in a way that makes a child. And it's so uncomfortable. It's just, why couldn't they have done that before he went and fight? Like, I understand the legacy will live on with the kid and everything. Why couldn't they have done it before he fought, right? Like, why couldn't we have had a moment where they're, like, together, and it's nice, and they have a nice time, and then the demon comes and, like, ruins it? It's very uncomfortable, and it
I can't justify that one.
Yeah, it's exactly dichotomy. It's very, like,
kind of ewy.
It's pretty ewy. It's just like, out of, like, what gets me the most is that you could have had, in my opinion, the same exact sort of, like, message that they were going for by literally just having sex beforehand. Like, they had time.
Well, that show definitely went hard with its gore. Like, I remember the scene of the baby dinosaurs getting eaten,
Yeah,
and it was like,
it's
they went hard, and I almost wonder if, like, not shock value per se, but I do think they kind of lean toward, like, that grittiness of it.
well,
I do think that went way
understand
too
that.
far, though.
I understand that. It's also one of those things that's like, you really think that he could have any sort of action down there being cooked to a fucking crisp? Like
There's
just
nothing left.
mathematically, the sperm is dead. You know, like, I don't know what to tell you. It is cooked. It is denatured. Like, it's just bad all around. You know what I'm saying? It's just bad all around. Love with the chart.
Never thought I would hear a cartoon described that way.
Well, you know, it's very much an adult cartoon, you know. It's
Oh,
very
yeah,
much
for
like
for sure.
a mature cartoon.
It's just
But
one of
it's
those
just
things
like
where
that-
it's like, wow, top 10 things I never
the
thought I'd
show
hear today.
is fine until that last. Yeah, it is though. You know, it's just so bad. It's just so bad. It's worse
It
than
did
the
not need
fish
to be.
thing.
What the hell is the fish thing?
From Dr. Ramune. It's worse than episode 2.
Oh god, episode 2 was so tame compared to what you're describing.
I know, it was. No, this is just hard. Like,
That's
like,
not even a
the
fair
show-
comparison.
I didn't get very far with this one. I'm very sorry. We were talking a lot. I was vibing too hard.
We led Ori down a tangent, you guys.
I'm sorry. Explain you didn't see that one? Oh, Dr. Ramune is an anime where essentially people have, like, personal life, moral, or, you know, like relationship troubles, or all these sort of different things that,
that make them sick.
Yeah, that make them sick.
And very often it's like kind
a-
of food related.
Yeah, exactly.
So like for example, in episode 1, there's this little girl who's crying mayonnaise
And other
because
condiments.
and other condiments because she's repressing how she feels about having to do what her mother is forcing her to do.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like pushing it down, and the problem gets worse and worse and worse until the climax of the episode. The episode that
second
Ori
one,
is talking about.
There's a man who's a player, and he keeps giving promise rings to women, but he's very not
And literally
faithful.
on screen, you see him switching out the rings, being like,
Yeah.
okay, I just met out with Yumi. Time to
which
go
one is
see
so-and-so's?
Sakura now.
Yeah,
and
which one's
he
her
like
ring?
knows what he's doing is shitty.
He's playing it real hard. And so what happens to him is that his penis turns into, was it like a fish cake? Like a fish cake,
I think
the long...
Chisuke? Is
yeah,
that what it's called?
yeah. It's like a long food thing.
Yeah.
Uh.
It's actually a pretty funny episode.
Oh yeah. And essentially, you know, to fix himself, he has to like tell all the women what he's been doing and be a better person.
Own up to being a lying, stinking cheat. Or lose his penis for the rest of his life. Chikuwa, that was it. I knew it was cheese something.
Yeah. Yeah, they look like that. Oops. That's what the food is. They look like that.
No, they never show it on screen though.
No.
They always find clever ways to censor it.
Yeah. Which is honestly an art in itself. I love when shows do that. It's great.
It
that's
definitely
what a
plays
fish cake,
into the
that's
joke.
What the chikuwa is.
But that episode is tame compared to what Ori just described.
Yeah, I was
as
just making a
primal.
joke. The primal one is rough. All right, do we have one more we want to do before we pick one, or do we want to pick one now? These are the options. Does somebody have one more monster? We gotta. I'll give you 2 minutes. At 10:50, we close it off and we do something else.
Oh crap! We got 2 minutes then. Hurry!
Well, yeah, for someone to suggest one. Anybody, everybody, anybody suggest.
Scream!
Yes, that is how you make monsters hot, Dichotomy. That's why you should... And this is... Dungeon Meshi. Success. They made all monsters hot. Well, they don't technically cook all... Well, I guess they do. But some of them are just dried, originally. You want Mars to pick one?
Oh,
okay. Mars will pick a monster.
Do I get a list of options, or should I just go to the wiki?
No, you should just pick one.
All right, I gotta look up
It's not
D&D
really unless you have suggestions, Dichotomy.
Monsters. Yeah, unless you have a list for me to pick from like you did before, or I could just find some. Okay, I'm going to click on a random page, and whatever I land on...
Dichotomy says pick a number and they'll flip to the monster manual.
Okay, 56.
Alright, 56. Hopefully one of them is not, hopefully they're not super humanoid. The less humanoid, the better. For this thing. Because otherwise they're kind of already jinkas of themselves. Balgura!
Balgura!
Alright.
Lucky number 56, I guess.
Yes. I mean, it's still a primate, but at least it's a little different. I thought... Oh, I guess it's the Goralian. The Goralian has the multiple limbs. I think that's what it is. This is how she fought. It was just a damn bug. Oh, there was a really big spider when I tried to cook food today, and it was so scary. And I had to spray it.
He was interested in what you were making.
I literally, my microwave is in the corner of my counter, and there's like cabinets all above it. And to the right, where like face level on the cabinet, the spider was right there. So I literally screamed bloody murder. No one is home, but I screamed bloody murder and I ran away. And then he's like crawling. He like looked like he crawled into the cabinet, and I'm like freaking out of like, how am I gonna like I can't cook now, you know, with him right there. Like he's just gonna come out. And I was like, okay, I went and I got like the Raid killer spray. And then I look up, and no, he's right there on the outside of the cabinet, right there. And then I spray him, and he falls down, and he's like crawling under the microwave, and I'm like, oh my god, kill it. He died finally, but ooh, horrible. I can't. He was too big. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. He was too movie. He kept like standing up, like, you know, trying to make himself big, and I was like, yeah, that's intimidating. I don't like that.
Holy shit! What kind of spider did you get?
I don't know how to... The problem is I don't know how to look at... Balgura is the DK skin. Yeah, it is the red DK skin. The problem is I don't know how to look up spiders without looking at tons of spiders. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that is kind of the caveat of having to look that up.
Yeah. Yellowish. See-through... spider.
See-through.
North. East. His legs were fairly transparent.
You're gonna become the next Spider Woman. You had a radioactive spider.
It's called a yellow sac spider.
Yellow sac spider.
Oh, apparently they're moderately poisonous to humans. I'm glad that I was scared of it.
I mean, the fact that it reared up
in your house. Yeah, no. So you know how they're like, when spiders like exist, they're kind of like flat out. You know, their like legs are like out. He would like bring his legs under him and stand up. Horrifying. Hello, Elias Tony. Is it Tony? However, alias Tony. However you'd like to.
Yes.
Let us know.
please let us know what you'd like to be called.
Yes.
Welcome to our stream.
Welcome.
We're vibing tonight. We're drawing
Gijinkas. What I would say callers.
I forgot the word.
What I would say, I would call them callers, but no, if only we made that term, so you know I can't use that term, if that makes sense.
Callers in our definition are animal-human hybrids.
But they have specific.
That's what appears in our comic that we make.
They have specific, rules essentially. So
yes. I'm actually currently working on the comic, but we can't see it because we wanted the D&D monsters to be the star of the show tonight.
Yes. Oh, this guy's got like mutton chop vibes going on, don't he?
Oh, very much so.
Got Jimmy Neutron hair. We'll deal with that in a little bit. You gotta make him buff. Sometimes I don't draw very beefy guys, so this is definitely a way to deal with that.
We gotta train you to draw more triangles, Ori.
I'm sorry, I like that when the hips don't lie, okay? When the hips don't lie, it's good.
I mean, the hips are very
There's a lot more
snatched
sass.
and very nice.
You know, you can have a lot more sass when the hips don't lie. And all of our boys have a fair amount of sass in them.
They live on sass. They live, sleep, sleep, eat, and breathe sass.
There you go.
There we go. I'm sorry, guys. Midnight brain. Or midday nap brain. It could be either or at this point.
You have a problem.
I do. I can't wait to see what I'm like after boot camp next week.
Oh, goodness.
For those of you who don't know, I am in grad school, and when I refer to boot camp, basically, I am in a clinical program, and it's just kind of a week of explaining what's expected of us in our clinical program, what the expectations are, and stuff like that. But it usually takes all morning and all afternoon, and is very long. And then I have class from 6 to 9 p.m., so very, very long day.
What kind of tongue twister was that? It's a phrase, I guess. Mars just has problems.
I do. I'm not gonna deny it when I know it to be true.
I have problems sometimes too, like Drake.
Yes. Oh, I watched that today on the video where I was like,
Yeah.
Drake, I thought it said Drake. God damn it, Ori.
I'm like,
and then Dylan just berating us. What is wrong with you two?
This is a senior moment. No, but it's a senior from Mars. It's a senior moment. Okay.
I'm still waiting for Phoenix to collapse from ingesting poison.
Calculus at 7 a.m. Oof.
Oh, rough.
I never had classes that early. I think I had an 8 a.m. class one semester, and that was it. I don't think I had any classes earlier than that.
I had an 8 a.m. class in undergrad that was only available at 8 a.m., and everybody hated it. It was literally... The one class at 8 a.m. sucked, but then there was also a class that was at 6 o'clock in undergrad, and everyone hated that too, because we're literally sitting there like, I would learn so much more if this class were not at this particular time. Because if it's at 6 o'clock, all I'm thinking about is how damn hungry I am.
Yeah,
how much I want to go get dinner. I am not learning shit.
I had Calc 2, 5 to 7 p.m. freshman year. And then, sadly, I was trying to be part of this martial arts club with my friends because I took martial arts, for 8 years. And it was like, yeah, we want to do it. And unfortunately, it was directly after that math class was like Tuesday, Thursdays, and that's when the club was. So it was like, I don't get to eat if I want to do this martial arts club.
Ouch.
So, sorry, can't do the martial arts club because I can't be eating at like 9 p.m., walking back. It's just like, I'm dying. Physical activity. It's bad.
That was something I had to get used to going back to school because, like, all my classes are now at 6, so I have to bring dinner with me or just eat a whole lot before I go.
Well, the problem, I couldn't even bring dinner with me because this was freshman year and we didn't have a kitchen. We had, we had like the main kitchen.
Oh,
and
man!
So the only way to do it would have been to like get it from... Oh my god, my cable touched me and I thought it was a bug.
Yeah, I have a fly floating in my water glass.
Oh no!
Ugh!
He has tusks. Yeah, he does.
God.
Yes, Ori Monk is real. Ori is a 2nd degree black belt of Jiu-Jitsu, and Dylan Monk is also real. He did Shaolin Kempo. I don't remember what belt he got, but that's a much harder martial art. It's the martial art to fight martial artists.
I will be right back, guys. I gotta go dump my water and get some more.
Dyslexia and English. Yeah,
I'm not drinking this. BRB.
Ban Oscar for violence? Oh no. This looks like a really cool D&D character. This guy, I'm liking him. You're not Oscar? If you say so. Okay, we gotta add... Yeah, exactly. You gotta add his little lip ring thing going on here. Kinda connects it together like that. There we go. He's got those big arm bands. We'll give him some... Whoops. We'll give him some musculanas. Mushies. I've been drawing muscles a lot more recently than I ever had before. Who is this dapper fella? He's Balgura. That's who he is. And he's flexing his strong muscles. How does that... Okay. I just had to do the pose in order to figure out where fingies go. We'll give it something like that. He's got... Why does that not look right? Are they higher up? I think they're higher up. It's like, where are the pec muscles? Where's everything? Here we are. We got like that. He's got...
I am so glad I looked at my water before taking a drink.
Yeah, good on you. That would have been bad.
Yuck. Don't need.
Okay. Do more like that, I guess. Yeah, there he is. It's got... It's called Amor Apache.
Amor.
Love you had for every living thing that is... That... Every living being is that much. They have to balance it with violence. Okay. It's like cute aggression, I guess. Okay, he does have a loincloth. Be a clothed of loin man. There he is.
It would appear so.
He gives like sumo wrestler vibes.
I can see it. Yeah.
You know, sometimes like the anatomy kind of like comes out of me. Like, look at this foot. Look at the legs. Like that's pretty dope.
Yeah. It's all coming together.
Yeah. It's all coming together. We like that. That's such a good quote.
We adore that line. It's just too good.
Where? A mod? An actual mod? Okay, and then he has these, like, golden wrist... That's not gold. Wristbands. Like that. Does he have anything else? I mean, that's pretty much it. We'll give him some...
You got the good details.
Fiery, like, he's got, like, that shoulder hair. You know, he's got that, like, forearm hair. How does chest hair usually work? That's kind of like that. There it is. He's got the upper arm hair. You know, that's a special kind of hair. Not everybody has the upper arm hair. He's got to have the thigh hair. Gotta have a little tummy.
This guy's a unit.
Do people? Yeah, there is shin hair. I don't know why I'm being weird. Obviously, there's shin hair.
Yeah, shin hair exists.
I know. I have shin. But it's just like, what? That's such a weird... Is that a thing? And like, yeah, yes. And he's got hairy toes.
Those things you don't think about. It's like,
he's got to have that hairy
what?
big toe. Very important for Gorilla Man. Yeah, leg is the normal... Yeah, leg. There you go. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, you have hair on your legs, like your whole leg, but not everybody has the noticeable, like, upper arm hair. You know, like, that's a special thing. Not everybody has that.
Yeah, that's one of those things that varies person to person.
Yeah. So it's one, you know, he's a hairy man. He's not here to hide it either. Look at him. I mean, he's rocking it.
Yeah, he doesn't seem shy at all. He's got this.
He's got this. There's a fire in his eyes. And then
which is the best kind of character.
There he is. We did it. He's done. I don't really have. There's 3 more minutes, but I don't know what else I'm gonna add to this man. He's perfect. You know. I don't know. Any suggestions that I need to add here, or I think he's good.
Maybe just clean him up a bit.
He's a unit. I feel like he's pretty clean to know what it is.
Okay.
I think what we have to do now is vote on who we gonna spend the next hour on. Make him wear a gold chain. Okay, we'll give him a gold chain. We like the gold. He has this gold lip ring. He can have a gold chain. That's not dark enough to be noticed. There it is. He's got the money. It's got a pentagram in it because he's a demon. You can't really see it. There it is. There he is. Now he's done. He's got the drip.
Ah.
Alrighty. Now, everybody in chat. Yeah, a full hour on the cleanup one, because we might do a little more on like the ref sheet sort of vibes, right? But we really want to
like
get into the meat of it.
Expressions, some colors.
Exactly. So we'll see. Oh no!
Oh no, Oscar.
But alrighty. We have...
I'm so sorry.
Option A. The Andro Sphinx. He's still great. I still love him.
Dichotomy, your mom is awesome. I support PCM Day. Pizza, Coke, Murder.
Then we have... the Monodrone. Look at him. Look at the little barrel man. He's great. Small child. Whoops. We have the Mimic.
Okay. If anyone knows Final Fantasy 15, Barrel Boy has Prompto vibes. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
I see what you're saying, though. We like barely did Kenku because honestly they're kind of already done. They just like give them a person head and they're kind of done. But we have
the dichotomy.
The Remmer Haze, the Remmeraz, however you want to say that.
Oh, so cool.
This one. We have, the start of the Kenku, which honestly he really wouldn't have
leather
much
jacket
more going
guys,
for
exactly.
him. It's kind of what it is. They don't have wings, so you know he's kind of
the edgy, traumatized leather jacket guys.
We did get distracted, and by we I mean me. And last but not least, we have Balgura man. Ready for the WWE.
Man.
You know, he's gonna fight
the Rock.
Win. He's gonna win.
He's gonna win, totally.
All right. Dichotomy has Remmer Haze as the vote. Ganondorf. Yeah, Ganondorf. We have one for Balgura man. One for God, I can't say
You really cannot say that, can you?
Balgura. One for him. We have one for Remmer Haze. Oh, the mermaid thing? Okay, the Remmer Haze.
Alrighty. I gotta say, I'm leaning toward Remmer Haze.
Oh, Mars is... It looks like this one's winning.
It just looks so damn cool. Like, it looks like a complete character.
I feel like that's everybody who's been talking in chat. Anybody else? PCM, do you have a vote? I'll go through them one more time.
And check YouTube, make sure we're not missing any.
We got Andrew Sphinx, which is still my favorite. We have Monodrone. We have Mimic. We have Remmer Haze. Kenku, and Barlgura. Do you have a vote, PCM? I'll give you one more minute. At 11:10. And anybody else in chat, you can all vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, pop in.
Remember Haas? Yeah, it's that without the
Haas?
E, Enthuse. Take away the E, and you spelt it correctly.
It's a tricky one.
Oh, it is a tricky one. Yeah, PCM, look. Monodrone has the Noop wings. The Noop head wings. How nice.
Crossover.
Crossover. So do you have a vote, PCM? Andrew Sphinx, Monodrone, Mimic, Remmerhaze, Remmerhaz, Kenku, Barlgura. You thought those were fuzzy handlebars? Yeah, huh? They're bananas or something. Is that the joke? I don't even know. I only half understand the joke.
Oh, if anyone has any good banana recipes, I had to mush all the bananas on my counter because the heat just killed them.
Make banana bread!
And the flies were starting to have a field day.
Oh, you know...
So I had to smush like...
I have a really good one.
6 bananas.
Robot Noop?
And I don't know what to do with them.
Well, it looks like Remmerhaze wins by most votes, so we will do that one. However, I have to I have to give Mars this delicious muffin recipe. We'll see if she can make it or not. It's got a lot of chocolate, and it technically involves mascarpone cheese on top, but it's delicious. Chocolate banana muffins.
Ori, you are an angel.
It's delicious. I love these muffins.
I knew I came to the right person.
I think it's this one. Find it. Mashed bananas. No, it's not this one. Okay. Hold on. I want with mascarpone cheese. Yes. It's not it. Give me what I want. It's not gonna let me find it right now.
Damn.
I'm like, I know exactly what it, like, I know the muffin. I make them. They're very good. I'll have to find it another time. Not now on stream. But they're very good.
The internet just simply wants you to draw.
Yes, it does. Alright, and that is what we shall do. So we're gonna shrink this. Okay. How do I want to do... Yeah, what do you guys normally do for, like, if you guys wanted a, what's the word? A reference sheet. What would you guys have on it? I'm so curious. We'll build a little thing. That's a no to the banana ice cream.
A banana ice cream sounds delicious.
Ooh, and it's non-dairy. Look at that.
Ooh, okay, I might have to try that. I have like a whole tub of mashed bananas now, so I'm desperately trying to get rid of them.
Yeah, usually a lot of people go a little ham on reference sheets. D&D PC reference sheets. Okay.
This is such a soft hoax, and I love this expression.
Okay, let me open the links in the tab. Open image. Yeah, so it's like, you know, some people do like expressions and stuff. You know, look at this one. Open image. You know, oh, I mean, I already love this guy. Look at him. Cowboy man.
Ooh.
Thank you. Top tier. Love him.
That's
He's
nice.
great. Oh my god, his gun is a crossbow. Love it. Top tier shit. That's... where is this artist? I already have to look at this. Who is this artist now?
Ori's hooked.
I love him. He's great. Look at this. It's beautiful. Okay. But yeah, this sort of thing. You have 3 options: Australia, Ohio, or North Korea. Why do you only have 3 options? We're back on him, but look at him. He's beautiful. He's beautiful. But all right. So what expressions, I guess? Pick 2 expressions for this one.
Where are we thinking, chat?
Gotta move you over and down. Cocky, angry, shy. All right.
I like how you guys think.
Sure is a full on soon, like a tsundere. I am pleased like Mr. Burns. All right. We have some ideas. We'll see what we get out of here.
Alrighty, here we go. Don't hold back.
Well, I'm gonna do my best. This is not black. Thank you.
Oops.
So we'll have a little bit of time here with this. And the main piece. And then we'll go and we'll have some fun expression doodles. Honestly, that's one of the things that gets me really out of art block is I find like an expression sheet. You know, there's a lot of them on like the internet that people have done where they're just like grids of expressions of like little like emojis. And then I like roll dice to pick an outcast character and then to pick an emoji, and then I give myself, 15 minutes to do it, and then it's just a fun way to get out of art block.
That's smart.
What are we? 6 attacks? What is happening? I'm so confused.
Wait, did I miss something?
Dichotomy is dying? I don't know what's happening.
Okay, who's stabbing who?
Oscar is stabbing someone? Is it Dichotomy? They're a high level,
Oscar, why did you stab Dichotomy?
Oscar is apparently a super high-level fighter that used not second wind. What's the other one?
Don't
action surge. Action surge. It gives him 6 attacks.
I would do it.
We're about to level up in Pathfinder, and I don't know
so damn close.
what feature to take because I have so many good fucking options. And it's really, really difficult to pick.
We level up tomorrow.
Yeah, after we fight bro. As long as we live. I don't know. There's a bad omen of a statue, kind of creeping around. I don't know.
No. We're gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine.
Okay. You say so.
I believe so. I have to believe so because Miss Molly is a child. I can't let her die.
Well,
I don't think you understand how much Miss Molly cannot die.
I feel like you didn't want Alar to die, and yet.
Well, I did not want Alar to die either.
And yet.
That was my first boy, but he wasn't a child.
Why does the child matter?
It just feels so much worse if it's a child.
Oh, okay. Is that it? All PCs should mean the same to you.
Now, Alar is and will forever be my first D&D child.
It's like, I never thought I would draw Kazoo again, and then I drew him again. And I was like, oh, yes, well, guess you're just forever, huh? Eternal.
You are a character I've created, and you have effectively taken over my brain chemistry.
I love him, and I've drawn him, not a lot, but, more than I'd expect to. I always go back, because sometimes I design good characters.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
That's selling yourself kind of short there, isn't it?
I have so much fun that I get to essentially force all of our table that includes Mars to have the character design I want for their characters, because they don't pay me for art, they just get it, so they don't get much choice. It's all in the good of my own graces if I take their if I take their word or not.
Amazing.
Well, I don't.
I still have the poster from a wild hunt that you gave me. I'm staring at it right now.
Yeah,
it's right next to my computer.
I really gotta
So
do
pretty.
the watery grave one. It has been in, like, the sketch is good. I probably would redo it just because my art has significantly improved, but like the idea of it is still like I would keep it the same. You know, I wouldn't change the actual like composition of it. I would just be better at art. And then I guess I would probably, it's one of the biggest reason that I really haven't tried is because all of them before were done with traditional art, you know, methods. So I would draw it on the computer, but then I would print it out and I would line it and color it all, you know, traditionally with my markers and everything. But and it was a point to specifically like make a situation where I use my markers. I mean, the same thing was with the cards originally, but the cards have moved fully digitally because like redrawing the cards and coloring them each individually was way too much work, and I literally was not having a good time. So I was like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. But with the posters, I only colored one and then I would scan it and I have the original. But so it's very much, it's like, do I give in and make it all digital again, you know, like the trading cards, or do I, you know, try to make it traditional and, you know, give myself that outlet for that? I don't know. Decisions indeed. Ah, well, I'm glad you could stick around for
I am so
the
glad
time.
with writing. It's just, yes, I will use computer instead of writing by hand.
It's definitely not like I got all these like supplies for writing by hand, you know, now I do it digitally and it's, you know, I never use them, you know. It's definitely like a different sort of like, you don't lose as much, I guess.
Oh, no worries, Dichotomy. We're always glad to have you.
You got 5 hit points left?
Ooh. Dodge! Take the dodge action!
Okay. This kind of makes it look like a shirt, but that's fine. It's not a problem. But yeah, so I'm always torn. It's like that would be the last sort of thing that because then also in my heart I'm like, do I redraw all the other posters because I'm better? You know, it's like a whole thing.
Oh, so you open like a can of worms.
Yeah, because I've opened the can of worms with the trading cards. I have redrawn legendary trading cards that I already made. Now I haven't made that many. I technically made one less trading card than I did posters before I changed over. I've made 4 posters. I only made 3 legendary trading cards that were full in existence before I changed over. So it's very... And then on top of that, technically there's no longer an original anymore. You know, I could print them out and they would all be the same. It would just be I pick the best one. Like I do with the trading cards, because yes, I picked the best one. Thank you.
Oh, always the artist. Always.
I'm actually debating like reprinting some of them because now I finally print solely with staples, and honestly, they look way better. The colors are just like beautiful and bright and vibrant. I will never print from home again. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. The pain, you know, it came out so well on staples, so it was just like so much better.
Can't argue with
Good
that.
night, Dichotomy. So
Night,
part of me is like, I
Always
want to
good to see you.
reprint just mine of the ones that I printed at home and be like, yes, I have a perfect, gorgeous, beautiful set. But then the other part of me is like, oh crap, I hate weeding the watery grave foil bits. Kill me. And I'm just like, do I put myself through that?
It's just like, yes, pain.
Yeah, I specifically, like, changed the foil backs of, like, the Drakenfell ones because of what happened with the Watery Grave ones. It was like, oh yes, I've made
forget
a
what
mistake.
happened.
It's just so much detail that I have to remove the negative space by hand because it's cut out on a cutting machine. And so I have to sit there and remove every little dot and every little blibble, and there's just so many pieces that it's just an incredible pain in the ass.
Yep, nope, that would do it.
Yeah.
That would drive anyone crazy.
Exactly. So it's definitely like, I don't wish to do that anymore. So it's that trade-off of like, do I, don't I? Because at least with the post-haste ones, they're very simple. Where are the mods when you need them? I don't know if my mods are trained in first aid. They're not required.
Not yet.
Yes.
We haven't given them
Yes,
training.
it is, Jamie. It definitely is, and that's the reason why it hasn't happened yet. That's the reason why it's a do I, don't I, instead of a I will. Nope. Come on. Give me what I want. Are you done with D&D, Jamie? What are you volunteering, Jamie, for? Don't just volunteer people.
No sacrificing people here, please.
What is happening? Don't stab anybody.
Oh, no. What is going on back there?
We're having PvP, apparently.
Oh, jeez.
Well, have fun with your game, Jamie. I'm also trained in first aid.
It's a good skill to have.
Oh yeah, it makes me very, very angry at movies, though.
I know your biggest pet peeve is when someone gets stabbed and they immediately rip
Yeah, don't
out the
pull it
weapon.
out. That's how you die. Stop.
That's how you bleed.
That's how you bleed out. Thankfully, in the book you're reading, Mars, they have a bit, and it's right, and it's good, and I'm like, yes, thank you.
God.
They do pull the arrow out, but it's because it's poisoned. So yes, it's
You know what? That
better to
makes
pull it out.
sense.
Exactly.
makes
And they
sense.
literally verbally explain this. Because
Oh,
they're like,
beautiful.
oh yes, the person who is watching over this person who has been shot with poison arrow is going to be concerned when I just rip the arrow out of their body. So it's like, no. I would leave it in, but it's poisoned, so we can't have that. We need that to come outie.
I am up to chapter 17 in that book.
Okay.
So we go and
Definitely getting through it, but it definitely long way to go. There's like 40 almost 50 chapters, I think.
well, I know a character's true identity now. I know their connection to royalty, I'm gonna say.
Oh, that one's a whole, like, I don't even know where we're at, with the end of the book. I was like, I don't even know how to feel.
How's does the sequel explain any of that?
I haven't started it yet. I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
So I'm saying by the end of that book, it's just like
It's just like, nope, we're still confused.
So you aren't supposed to just pull it out and then, like, you can't, with a stab wound, you can't just put, like, a Band-Aid over it, right? Like, you can't just put gauze over it. You have to stuff the wound. So what they tell you to do is if the thing has been removed, right? When we talk about first aid, we talk about it in a situation where eventually you will get to a hospital or like you can get surgery. That's the idea of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to leave it in and gauze around it because it stops you from bleeding out. It is better to have, in 90% of circumstances, the thing in you helping stop the blood than to have it removed and have it out. But let's say someone stabs you with a knife and then they remove it and they leave you to bleed and die. You are supposed to literally take as much absorbent material as you possibly can, and as sterile as you can, but, only what you can, and stuff the wound. And I'm talking, like, stuff it. Like, you take your whole shirt and you, like, stuff it in there. Like, the amount of material that they want you to shove inside of this wound is an incredible amount of material. Because the point is you need to prevent the blood from getting out and give it a space to sort of, like, quote-unquote scab up as much as possible, again with the intention of getting to a place where you can get blood transfusions and surgery and, like, the proper stitches, because you can't just seal up the skin, it's gonna bleed inside you. So you literally, like, they recommend, like, you take off your shirt and you shove your entire shirt in, like, a stab wound, and that is not enough. Like, in first aid, they had this model that's made out of, like, silicone and stuff, and it's literally just a cylinder with a hole in it, and the hole is maybe the size of, like, a dime at most. You take an entire roll of gauze and you stuff that inside through that hole. That is the recommendation. You just shove it in there. And it's literally like you get trained on, like, how to do that as fast as possible.
You just plug that wound.
Yeah, you literally like you are reverse tissue boxing this person. Like, it is not. The reason I say that and I describe it that way is because when you have to reset it, you're pulling all the stuff out and it looks like a tissue box.
I was gonna say it's like a magician's trick sleeve.
Yeah,
like you just be pulling out endless scars.
Exactly. It is a surprising amount of material. If you can tourniquet the area, you want to do that as well. But of course, if you're, like, stabbed in the stomach, you can't really tourniquet that. But yeah, so you want to put as much material in there, and that is why you leave it in, because really it's honestly sealing you up way better than anything, and especially if you have, like, a barbed, like an arrowhead that's barbed, you want to leave that in because you'll do more damage, like, pulling it out than leaving it in. But yeah, that was
your lesson for tonight, everybody.
That was the first aid lesson for today. But yeah, again, first aid in this day and age is definitely done with the goal of you will see a hospital eventually. It is making you survive as long as possible to get to a hospital. So I wouldn't know, like, full on, medicine. You really got to go in there and, like
if we were
suture
on a isolated island with no help anywhere.
Yeah, you would see Sinnit, like,
this could help.
Like, everybody would be, like, stripping and, like, shoving as much cloth into, like, a bullet wound as possible. Like, that would be the goal. Yeah, first aid only, exactly. Step 1. And then Sinnit could probably bring him to his area and do the proper, like, more surgical, removing the bullet and suturing him up and all those sort of things. But it's definitely
why they needed a doctor.
Literally why. Did you know, Enthuse, you might have known this, but Oscar too, in the days of pirates, if they didn't have a specific person that was a doctor to be the doctor on the ship, the carpenter was the doctor, because they were the closest thing to a doctor that they had, and they would act as the doctor. Ain't that wild? Yikes indeed.
Very yikes.
Yep. You didn't really get a lot of choice. And that yikes is specifically why we don't put Outcast in a specific time period, because I really don't need the old-timey medicine.
Varric's doing medicine terrifies me.
Not even that, just the idea of, like, we didn't know germs existed. I don't need that. I don't need
We basically want that nice middle ground of, yes, historical aesthetic, but yes,
the middle ground
technology
to me is
in terms of
germs.
Live
Live in the woods with someone who was a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the level.
Right. This was very fascinating to me because you had mentioned it as an example on stream where you had said, like, we don't describe the bathroom situation because that's not what we want to focus on, but technically, like in that time period, bathrooms were not an option. I actually read a book recently that didn't focus on the bathroom situation, but did mention it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was an outright historical fiction book. Like, they actually had the years, they had the time period, they had real life locations. So it made sense for the genre for them, like, if they wanted to call it out. And it also worked in favor of, like, showing how this main character kind of doesn't fit in with this group yet, because that's something that they're self-conscious about. Whereas, like, back then, you literally just hang over the side of the ship and you do your business.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like, that is how you do it. You go over the side of the ship, you hang on to the rail, and
you balance.
that is how it's done. You balance, you squat, and you're done. So, but in that book, it works because, like, not only is it working to the genre, historical fiction, but it's also working to show, like, how the character is kind of out of her element.
Yeah.
I just found it fascinating that I found an example of that literally, like, the day after you had mentioned it on stream. It's like, what are the odds of this?
Exactly. But in our world, that wouldn't be the thing that separates Hudson from the pirate.
That's certainly not
so
the
that's
thing
why
we
wouldn't be bringing
on.
it up.
Because, ew.
Well, not even that. It's just, you know, in the world we have created, I wouldn't say that, you know, Hudson has necessarily much more of, like, a bathroom situation than they necessarily would. Or, you know, like, based on all the Cawlers' backstories, all the pirates' backstories, like, they would have been, you know, at what Hudson was. So, you know, it's a whole thing where it's like, that's not the separation we're trying to paint here. So it's definitely...
That's kind of different. We don't want that.
Yeah, that was not what we were going for. They show their dissimilarities in many other ways.
Yes.
Not as different as we seem, tagline. Whoops.
And it'll become very apparent.
Eventually.
In a couple chapters.
Okay. We liked cocky, I guess.
Oh, cocky is always a win. Come on, if you're not doing cocky, what are you doing?
Oh, this is gonna be hard. There's a lot of, like... there's a lot of, like, bits to this character. Congress with on the stairs, would it be possible? Yeah, maybe enthused, or at least definitely not when you needed it. If the castle didn't like you.
That could totally happen. I feel like in the books they did have, like, a kind of rumor where one student got lost on the stairs for ages. I haven't read those books in a long time.
I only ever saw the movie, so... the movies. So I could not even hope to comment.
I have seen the movies way too many times. I had to cut back on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they're one of those movies that TV airs all the damn
that is very
time.
True.
And when you have nothing else to watch, well, you just kind of end up watching that, and then it adds to your count. So now you're watching it, like, both when you'd like to, but also when you're just trying to relax, but you don't have very many options.
I'm so bad that I'm like picky and not picky about what I watch. So it's like, I don't watch shows, I'll just infinite scroll on, like, you know, the short form video content of, like, YouTube or something for way too long and then be like, okay, I didn't really ever watch anything. Great.
I was like, oh yeah, that was productive.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I could have watched one of the shows that I wanted to watch, you know, instead I did that.
Story of my life.
Story of my life, I'll take her home, spend the love.
Story of your life.
All right. I think that needs another thingy in order to... Yep, that's good. And then we get like that.
Okay. Oof. This is gonna be a challenge.
Who you coloring? Who you drawing? Is
I'm
Jamie a
doing
furry? I believe so. Yes.
Right now, but the lines just don't want to cooperate.
Unless for some reason Jamie doesn't call themselves a furry. I'm very certain they do though.
I am pretty sure we have
I'm also
extensive talk about
curious what your
here.
furry art question is, Enthuse. If I'm being completely honest. I don't know if I could answer it, but I kind of want to know what it is.
We can certainly try.
What the hell?
What the? I heard that too.
Oh, I like kicked something and it like bounced around under my desk.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what the heck?
Oops. Oh, Hotson, why are
You hear an
fighting
earthquake?
me?
Yeah, well, it's fixed now. I don't know if this is the same character or not, but here they are. Cocky. Oops. We got cocky, and we wanted shy, or we
I
wanted
think shy
like,
was one.
Okay, we can do shy. Part you see a lot of content about adopts. Okay, so I do know lots
Ori
about
would
adopts.
know more about that than me.
I know tons about adopts.
Take it away,
yes.
Ori. Shit.
Yeah, so you're not paying to own a photo. The theory of it is you're paying to own that design. Now, what's very funny that you bring this up, Enthuse, is that there is a fair amount of, like, a dissonance about adopts just overall, in general, in the entire art community. It is very strong in the furry community. About, like, what really counts, you know, is it something that people, you know, recommend, like, that you really recommend doing? How exactly the whole thing works. There's a lot of like best practices, contract sort of stuff. So it's not as flatly scammy as like an NFT is, but an example would be, it's like, let's say I designed Hotson, okay? The idea is I could put him up as an adopt, that I could sell this character design, right? And then somebody could buy it, and then in best practices, I lose all rights to use that character, and the person who bought it can use it in any way that they want, okay? A lot of examples I see in the furry community are, like, making fursuits now of this adopt that they bought, right? Getting fursuits made. Sometimes you buy the fursuit that's like a used fursuit of an original character, but you've adopted the whole character. And sometimes they come with tons of art that person has had commissioned for that character. So now you are essentially owner of that character. That's like the full fursuit vibe and everything. So sometimes they come with like art, and now you own all of that art because you own the character. Now some people do weird shenanigans where they just have like a base and then do kind of like lazy, you know, sort of character design and stuff. Yeah, it's technically not enthused. Unfortunately, a lot in the art community is not very legally binding, and the reason for that is that a lot of copyright law kind of sucks, especially digitally. That's why NFTs were an interesting sort of idea, that you could have an original and you could have all this sort of stuff, but you know, in practice it's kind of hard to deal with. Yeah, but exactly because it's not really legally binding at all, even though you can have a contract, unfortunately most people are not in positions to sue anybody over anything, so having the contract is more just like this is what I expect from you, and I will shun you if you don't do this. And some artists are considered kind of more scammy, where they they sell the adopt, but they don't really sell it, and at any time they can ask for it back, which is kind of ridiculous, and that's definitely not the spirit of the idea. Some people are really into it, some people are not. in order to be an artist that is, you know, making money from adopts, you have to be kind of famous in a way, because to a certain extent, and this is where I see it used the most, is that at a certain point, you're no longer, you're sort of getting a weird discount commission, in the sense of that, like, you didn't get to choose the character or anything, but this is really nice art you get to see of a character and you can call it their own or something like that. Yeah, and so this gets into another thing in Thews that is very popular in the furry community, and it is called closed species, which are, again, kind of a weird, ridiculous thing. Yeah, okay. So, essentially what it is somebody made a new species of creature, and they make it so that technically, again, in massive air quotes, technically, nobody else can make an official one of it's the Oscar one. I love, like, I enjoy, you know, existing in the furry community, and also just there's so much art, like, culture, I guess, in the furry community, that you kind of get roped into it when you like and throw anything. So, you know, I'm here for it, and thus I listen to art commentary, and a lot of that involves all this sort of stuff. But no, 100% enthused. It's not. What it is it is socially binding. And what I mean by that is that when you have massive creators that are so well known in the community that if you go against them and don't, you know, follow the rules, right, you are shunned by their lackeys. Right. Now lackey makes it sound malicious. It's not really like a necessarily that the original creators intended for this. I'm skeptical about the whole thing, I will not lie, but it's not that they're like sicking people on them, but, you know, people who are obviously very into creators and their stuff, and that they would, you know, internet ninja warrior
they have a
people
passionate fan base
that can turn into
a
sort of negative thing. The big two I can think of are Dutch Angel Dragons and Primogens. I think that's the one. That one's one. There's one. Yeah, exactly, though, Enthused. The Swifties effect. There's one that's like the main one, and then Protogens, I think, is the baby one that isn't closed. It's a whole thing. But so when those original creators of those species, sometimes what they do is they make adopts, where they make characters for their closed species and they sell them, and that's the only way to get like a certified, quote unquote, verified that species.
Okay.
And that's how the whole thing works. Now, again, there's controversy on, like, one, you said, like, it's really technically not enforceable legally in any sort of way. It's also, like, where is the line drawn of when it's like, yeah, I like, you know, I made a new closed species and it's foxes with flower heads. You know, it's like, how really is that, you know, like, where's the line, man? You know, I could totally on my own come up with foxes with flower heads as like a thing, you know. That'd be like me saying that cawlers are a closed species.
It's like it could be created by accident, and now suddenly someone might come after you saying you stole this idea.
Patent in any way the idea of like humans with certain animal characteristics. Like, it just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
You know what other series has done animal-human hybrids? Brand New Animal by Trigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Tons of others that I'm probably not thinking of. I know Tower of God has a lizard girl in it. That's like human with a lizard tail. Like, it's a popular concept.
In best practice enthuse, they have lists. Here, I'll show you. This is not a closed species, I don't think, but
I'm learning
there's
so
a
much
species
tonight.
called mochi raptors, which they're just like cute, okay? But there's a whole thing with all this lore and stuff, you know. This is like the main one. It talks about all their stuff. there's usually yeah, like different features that they can have. You know, it gives you all these examples and all this sort of stuff. And there's tons and tons and tons of examples for you to technically like mix and match. Sometimes there's like, yeah, so these are like king traits. See, you may not make a raptor with king traits, all this sort of, you know, sort of stuff. Again, nothing is legally enforceable, but it is socially enforceable. Where if this community is big enough that they enjoy this creator enough, they will socially enforce it. And that's sort of like the line. Again, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. The good, you know, species, and that one's an open species to a certain extent. You know, it's partially open. Like anybody can make a motion raptor, except with the king traits. You know, like that whole thing. My brain literally died.
Oh no!
Nope, it's gone. Thought is gone.
Rip Ori's brain, you guys.
Rip Ori's brain. But, you know, and if you're a small enough person, like, maybe you'll never be found out or anything like that, but... But yeah, exactly, Enthuse. It is solely, it is fueled socially. That I think that's the best way to put it, is that these sort of things are fueled within the community, and you can only have a, you know, a successful sort of chokehold on such a market if enough people already enjoy, you know, you as a creator and your stuff, and will, you know, hop on the bandwagon with you, right? So it's a whole thing. Yeah. Did that answer your question, Enthuse? I hope I did well.
I feel like you covered a lot there.
100% Enthuse. Not even /s. That's exactly what it is. I'm so glad. Yes. I am relatively well versed with the furry community. I would say I'm a furry. I don't really have like a full sona or anything, but like the whole community is great. And I mean, I like anthro characters, so can I really hide? Did not know anything about this. Well,
Never.
you do now, Oscar. You're learning so much. Mars didn't know either.
Knowledge
It was
is
all
power.
me. I did all the knowledge about it. Knowledge is indeed power.
Now you guys know how to traverse the internet and the furry community. What could be greater?
Yes,
than
there's
that?
definitely a lot of times that I have spent just listening to, you know, furries talk about the furry community, and artists talk about all that sort of, you know, adopts and everything, and species and all that sort of stuff. Told you to in a story post. I follow a couple specifically furry artists. I'm definitely by far a more human plus person, but I enjoy like full anthro. That's what I kind of call my tastes, are human plus. You know, because I count tieflings with that, right? Like human plus, you know.
Yeah, well, they
like,
have the similar build, similar
elves are even better
structure,
than humans.
but then a little
you know,
bit more.
Like a satyr is a human plus, you know, like those sort of things. I would count all those.
Just a couple extra bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm. That you follow very closely. I would love to go to a furry convention. It's just my biggest deterrent right now has become I hate driving in New York City. I hate existing in New York City with a car. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, if you want to cosplay, I kind of don't want to ride the subway.
Yeah, it is rough.
It's just like, I don't want to...
But it can be fun, because sometimes you meet people on the subway.
Yeah.
And then you're all vibing together. Like, the number of people I ran into going to see Beetlejuice was amazing, and we were just all vibing, all chilling on the same train. I was like, yes.
I feel like there's a difference between I dressed up in a style and I am a literal spandex superhero in a suit and my boyfriend is wearing swimming goggles. You know, like, I feel like there's a level, right? Like, I would be okay with being Mabel on the train, or even Fiona on the train. But I feel like being Adam, Eve, and Invincible is kind of like we're really standing out now, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely one of those, I need
you
to
should
forget
enthuse.
the conductor will make opinions about me.
You should do it, enthuse. You gotta.
That's why one of my first cosplays was a Lich from Servamp. Because not only was his costume super easy to do on undergraduate budget, but it's literally just a black hoodie and white pants. Like, I blended into the crowd perfectly. The only thing, quote unquote, stand out was the backpack with the wings. And even that's like,
it's New
not
York
that
City,
weird.
So
Yeah. Well, it wasn't New York. It was actually Boston.
Ah, there you go. Still.
And they knew the convention was that day, so. Like I said, the number of people they were busing to that convention were numerous.
You can go
and they were
yell
in costume.
at all the bird furries enthuse and just talk about how they aren't real.
Yes. The truth must be revealed.
Oh no! Dang it.
Oops. What happened here?
Beep, 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 beep. What time is it? 5 minutes.
Ugh.
I won't get to finish it, probably. Well, we'll see.
I have decided as soon as 12 o'clock hits, I am done. I will
the drawing?
finish this up tomorrow. Yeah. My brain is leaving my body.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to attempt to go to bed early tonight. I really want to try one more to finish this Pretty Boy reel because I really want to.
I hope your pup lets you sleep in.
Well, she definitely will not. That is guaranteed. I have zero faith. I'm not a joke. Like, if I do get to sleep in because of it, it's like because she peed my bed. You know, like there's not an option.
There's no good option where you get to sleep.
No. I accept that if I have to take care of the dog and I'm not getting up for like work, she has to sleep with me so that she doesn't pee the bed or pee downstairs, because I would much rather wake up and have to go back to bed than have to clean up dog piddle and anything else.
Well, I hope she doesn't get anxious again then.
That's my biggest thing, yeah. I really don't need that again. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. Yeah, I want to try and get the Pretty Boy reel just done. I just need it to be done. I'm so done.
You're gonna hate me, Ori. You know that reel where they go, okay, I bought one, it's just one. Well, I have to get a friend, it's gonna get lonely. Like, and people use it to like show up their obsessions and stuff. I was literally thinking of that for Milano, where he's just like, well, I have to get one. And it's like, it's Ferrix first. And it's like, well, what if he gets lonely? I need to get him a friend that he gets Aster with. And it's like, I might as well just get the whole set. They need a third. What if they get sick of each other? They need a third one. And then, like, the final one is, like, Houghton off in the distance. And Milao's, like, waving to him. And he's like, oh, no. It's like, oh, jeez. It's too perfect. Fuck.
My thing is I keep like, I really want to like be better at an animation, like try a little more on the animation side, but then but I just it's one of those things where I know that I can work well, honestly, the biggest part is I know I can work smarter by making all these separate layers. But I hate doing that so much. Like, the layer separation for our avatars now is a ton. But it's nice because I only have to do it once. But if I was like to do it it's just like, ugh, pain. You know, it's just like, ugh, pain.
That's rough,
pain.
buddy.
Yeah, it is rough, buddy. Because, you know, and traditional animation takes forever, so, you know, it's worse if you do it in fully traditional way, where you just redraw everything every time, and, you know, ugh. That's all I have to say about that. Just human cosplays? Can't believe it's just human. I only have human cosplays. Fursuits are expensive.
Oh yeah, you ever see the price on them?
Fursuits are expensive, man. Those things are nutsoid.
I admire the craftsmanship of them. Like, anyone who has
100%.
that much time and that much skill has my respect.
100%. 100%.
Oh my god, this is the first Milano I've colored in over 6 months.
Yeah. No, you colored the Milano, his head.
Yeah, but that was just like a portrait. I didn't have all the scales to contend with.
Yes, that is true.
Or the tail.
Yes, that is true.
The leggies.
Oh, is this is the like flashback stuff, right? Is
yeah,
that why? Okay.
This is all the flashback stuff. This is all about how Sinnett ended up with the pirates.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, we get the most Sinnett backstory really right off the bat.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
He doesn't really have much to hide. He's not an open book, but if somebody asks him, he will be honest.
Mm-hmm.
To a degree.
To a degree.
He's not gonna spill everything.
He ain't an oversharer.
Yeah.
But he's
it's all
definitely
about that customer service ability.
Mm-hmm. He'll chat with you. He'll talk with you.
Yeah. He'll chat. He'll share his woes. He'll put you in your place if he thinks you're being an ass.
Mm-hmm. He's the bartender.
Cough.
Yes. Hotsun and loving that taste of foot in his mouth. Ugh.
Sandy.
It's corset rough and it gets everywhere. Ew. Yeah, no, exactly. He keeps not saying the right things.
He's bad at what he does.
He's bad at the conversating. He's very bad at the conversating.
He's incredibly bad at the conversating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Meh. This one.
But one day he will learn.
One day? Yeah. One day
he will get the taste of foot out of his mouth.
Eventually.
And then perhaps somebody else will put their foot in their mouth. No, it doesn't always have to be Hotsun.
It doesn't always. It's just right now mostly Hotsun.
It is mostly Hotsun. He's a mess.
Oh god, no.
He's a mess.
What is happening? This is what I wanted.
That is not the color of Sinnett's pants. That is. What is wrong with me? There we go.
Okay. You have filling it out. Mm-hmm.
Slayer, I will name.
My brain is dead. There's not a lot of talking now. I'm just trying to give a little depth to this.
If anyone has
character.
More questions in chat, anything like that.
Oh, you're so close, Enthuse.
Ooh, very nice, Enthuse.
I'm getting there. Ah, what's Sad you're not there yet. The point is, it takes a while. Otherwise, everybody would be in. And who are those peeps that have more points than you? Johnum, Mars,
Yeah,
Dylan.
by default.
I don't know who else. You're at 10, so I don't know. Not
sure.
me, I don't think, because I don't
have to check the rankings again.
Yeah, I don't earn points by being in stream, so it's not me. Alrighty, and then we'll add a little glow. Like this. Oops, come on. I'm gonna have to blend it out a little more than that one. And then I'm spending too long.
Okay, I gotta fix this.
Did
There
you
we
find
go.
out who
That's
they are,
better.
Enthuse?
Oopsies.
Yeah, Johnum's a hoarder. Hello, Amon. How have you been?
There we go.
Extreme Bulk Guy really has that many still? I don't know
wow.
who Drapsnat or Alice C. Draw are. Or Commander Root. They must be very dedicated lurkers. Hello, if you guys are here. Jamie has more than you. Oh, snap. Not Dylan? No Dylan, no Mars? And no Johnum? Johnum's gotta be on there. Johnum's gotta be on there.
Johnum must be.
There's no way. He was in the, like, 60s. I would be so surprised if he really was on there. Oh, okay. We mentioned him already.
Okay.
I see.
Streamline the process by not mentioning us.
I see. I was like, what?
That makes sense.
Okay. That does make sense. All right, there they are.
I really like this panel.
Nice,
That's
Amon.
a nice panel.
Very, very nice. I'm sorry, though, we are finishing up for this evening. I need to go to bed and sleep because I get woken up at like 4:30.
Poor Ori was woken up way too early today.
And I will be woken up way too up today. One last job. I have one last job. What's my last job? Sleep is very important, yeah. I gotta name this character.
Ooh.
Remorges. Let's see their stuff. Their lore. Polar worm or ice worm like a centipede.
Ooh.
So we'll go centipede.
I wouldn't want to run into one.
Centipede genera. Ooh, Asanada. How about that? Their name is Asanada.
That's pretty cool.
You like that? Asanada? Pretty? Alright. We'll name them.
Yay!
Asanada.
Asanada.
Alright, there they are. All done.
Woo!
We'll copy paste it because we know I have to put it in Discord for dichotomy. And I'm gonna save it to channel. Games. Drawings and Dragons. Gijinka 1. Animate her teddy bear! Oh, like an unseen servant. Oh, that's great. I love that, Amon.
That's fantastic.
Amon, this is really funny that you have like a little child witch, because Mars's character is also a child witch. So wild.
Child witches are just the way to go.
Apparently they're the
I'm
thing.
so glad people are seeing the potential.
Yeah, they're
Though I definitely rely more on her being a poppet than I do a witch, like in terms of story
mm-hmm.
beats, but that's still very awesome.
Okay. Nada from stream. All right. And that is where we will end it all up, guys. Oh, she's 20, but she crafted. I mean, it's still cute. It's still good vibes.
Still love.
I mean, I still have my teddy bear, and I'm 25, so you know, it's not a teddy. He's a dog, but you know, same. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Do keep a close eye on the schedule next week, as we will be going into the final version of that schedule for Mars's schooling.
Cool.
And then, you know, once that semester ends, it might change again. Who knows? Nobody knows.
It will definitely change again because I will be working in the schools after that.
There, you'll be working in the schools. I'll be moved in with
most
Dylan.
Definitely.
You know, it'll all be new stuff. So keep an eye out next week on Monday for the schedule. Otherwise, have a great weekend. It's weird saying that on a Friday.
It's so weird. But you know what?
Oh,
I like it.
Teddy brings the comfort. All right, guys. Good night. See you next week sometime. You'll know when.
Yes.
All right.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it'll be Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday. All right, guys. Good night.
See you guys then.